from Milwaukee. The roof is open. Another beautiful night for baseball here in Brewtown. Good tailgating scene out there. And we're all set for the St. Louis Cardinals. It starts the first of a three-game series tonight. The Cardinals and the Brewers. Cardinals are just a game back in the National League Central. Marco Estrada will get the ball for the Brew Crew this evening. Just coming back from the disabled list, his third start. Shelby Miller, the hard-throwing right-hander, on the mound for the Redbirds. And everybody, we welcome you from Miller Park alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. Great to have you with us tonight. Now we'll see if the Brewers can continue on this homestand. They split a series with the Cincinnati Reds, and now they welcome in the contending St. Louis Cardinals. Interesting pitching matchup tonight.
Yeah, Marco Estrada, since coming off the disabled list, has been very good. He has not walked the batter, which is kind of amazing. The fact that he missed about 2 months of the season. He had a hamstring, then he had a back problem, but Marco has been very good. His changeup's been very effective. His curveball has been effective for strikes and getting some strikeouts up in his zone. 8 punch-outs, no walks in his first 2 starts. Marco is going to try and get deeper into the game. He's only been able to pitch limited innings because he hadn't been really all stretched out. Shelby Miller, one of 18 rookies on this Cardinals ball club, 2-0 against the Brewers. Talking to Johnny Nairn, they got to make him get the baseball down. He's a big strikeout pitcher. He likes his fastball.
Statistically, he has been one of the best in the National League. Well, Chris Davis making the most of his opportunities in the big leagues. He has hit the long ball a lot lately. Craig and Augie will break down the Chris Davis game when we continue.
Improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. And by Toyota, let's go places. Getting that outfield line all chalked up here at Miller Park. We welcome you back to the broadcast here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Tell you what, Davey, the St. Louis Cardinals come in having used 19 rookies. That's the most in the majors, but the Brewers not far behind, having used 17, including Chris Davis, who's on kind of a power tear now in his second tenure up here.
Well, when you look at Chris Davis, you don't think of power, but this young man has popped to all fields, and he hasn't missed any mistakes up at the plate. He can drive the ball and drive it with power. And the other good thing that Chris Davis has done in that comfort level we talked about, he has played a lot better defense out in the outfield.
Yeah, his game has completely changed. There's no question about that. The confidence level up for Chris Davis and the Brew Crew. They are set to take on the Cardinals. We are set for first pitch. We'll have the lineups, the pitchers, B and Rocco coming back.
Out onto the field as he gets ready for the division rivals, the St. Louis Cardinals. There's Mike Matheny, former Brewer catcher, former Gold Glove catcher for the Cardinals as well, and now in his second season as the St. Louis manager. Took that club to a postseason last year in a wild card, and he is in line once again. His Piggly Wiggly batting order: Matt Carpenter leads off, Carlos Beltran, then Matt Holliday. Middle of the order is Alan Craig, Yadier Molina, and John Jay, with Colton Wong, a newcomer. He plays second base, very talented young player. Pete Kozma is the shortstop, and Shelby Miller is on the mound for St. Louis.
And Marco Estrada making start number 15, his third start since coming off the disabled list. He was disabled for about 2 months and making his 5th career start against the Cardinals. He's 0-4 so far this year. And let's check out the Menards Brewers defense. Aramis Ramirez back at third base. He got yesterday off. Lucroy behind home plate. And Marco Estrada on the mound looking for his first career win against St. Louis.
Oh, Aramis Ramirez back in the starting lineup. Getting a day off yesterday. We check in with Mark Concannon, the third member of our team, as the Brewers send Marco Estrada to the mound, and Mark, his first home start since coming back from the DL.
You're right, B.A. Marco feels like he's got to prove himself every game. Brewer GM Doug Melvin told me tonight, though, he likes what Marco has done. He thinks that Marco has a chance to really figure into the future of this ball club. He says that Marco works hard, doesn't walk a lot of guys, and the best thing, guys, he says that every game Marco pitches, he gives the club a chance to win. All very positive attributes.
And he's done just that in his 2 starts since returning. Tim McClellan will call the balls and strikes tonight. Marty Foster, Marvin Hudson, and Wally Bell on the bases. Longtime umpire McClellan, the crew chief. All the pieces are in place, and we are ready for baseball on a Monday night in Milwaukee. And Marco Estrada deals one low and away for ball one, and off we go. Matt Carpenter, Carlos Beltran, and Matt Holliday, and the most potent lineup in the major leagues, the St. Louis Cardinals. There's a strike.
And as we mentioned on the pregame show, they don't do it by hitting a ton of home runs, but they do get their hits when it counts. And this guy has been the big catalyst offensively, Matt Carpenter. When he gets on base, good things happen for the Cardinals.
Carpenter playing most of the year at second base, but is a natural third baseman. And with the emergence of Colton Wong, he has started to play a little more third base these days. And David Freese looks like the odd man out tonight as Wong gets a start at second. Carpenter's had a great year at the plate. He's first in the National League in runs scored. Everything you want out of a leadoff man. He's also leading the National League in doubles, in multi-hit games. And he and Gene Segura are tied atop the National League in hits.
First year All-Star this year, and certainly making a name for himself. This is a very young Cardinals ball club. They've had a lot of rookies this year.
Now, hard to believe the Cardinals have used more rookies than any team in the big leagues this season, and yet they are starting play today with just one game between themselves and the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Central Division leader. 18 rookies used by St. Louis so far this season. 2-2 to Carpenter. Count remains at 2-2. Now, Rock, you mentioned pitch count for Marco Estrada. Renicky hoping that he can get some length and some depth out of Estrada tonight. He did go 6 against the Rangers in 76 pitches. He was very efficient on the road in Arlington.
Yeah, exactly. 76 pitches in his first 2 starts since coming back from the DL.
There's a called strike 3, and Carpenter is rung up, and a good way to start the night for Estrada.
Yep, that control has been very good for Marco since his return. No walks, 8 strikeouts, now make it 9 strikeouts, and there's that 4-seam fastball straight over the top and catches the outside corner. The delayed call, as usual, by Tim McClellan. Emphasis on the play-by-play man tonight.
Thanks a lot for bringing that up. Yes, he's my nemesis umpire. He calls them quickly, just doesn't show you quickly. Right. Tim McClellan.
Yeah, the verbal strike call is there for the players, but not so much for the folks up here.
He'll get me. It happens every time. Carlos Beltran batting second. Beltran, an all-star this year. He was an all-star starter, as a matter of fact. 300 batting average coming in with 20 homers, 64 driven in. And you don't see any Cardinals with the overwhelming season, but all very good. A lot of depth. Estrada will have his hands full tonight.
Yeah, very deliberate at the top and then fires off of that back leg, and the emphasis on his legs.
Beltran deep to right. Aoki out of room, and Beltran sends one out, and the Cardinals take the early lead tonight. His 21st homer of the year.
Well, got a change up for Marco and knocked it out of here. Got under it, but Beltran, one of the few guys that has been very consistent in hitting home runs this year. Looks like wants it down. He left it up. He left it out over the plate, and Beltran with a nice easy swing knocks it out of here into that Cardinals bullpen. So just when we say they don't hit a lot of home runs, they get on the board first with a home run.
As a team, they don't hit a lot of homers, but they have plenty of hitters who have home run power. There's a look at the changeup grip from Estrada, and right in the wheelhouse of Beltran.
Yep, out on his front foot, but able to keep the hands back and generate enough power to knock it out of here.
Here is Matt Holliday. He's quickly down 0-2. Beltran leads the club in homers, just hit his 21st. Holliday has 15. This club has not skipped a beat offensively, even after losing Albert Pujols. Matter of fact, one of the better run producers in baseball is the guy who replaced him in Alan Craig, who's due up as Holliday flies out for out number 2. Well, Alan Craig, a .310 hitter, has 11 home runs, but 88 runs batted in. So not hitting a whole lot of home runs means he is driving them in the hard way. And his 180 RBIs over the last 2 seasons, the most in the National League. You lose a bat like Pujols, Alan Craig takes over in that position. He becomes one of the elite run producers in the game.
Yeah, stays on the baseball very well, uses right center to his advantage, and when there are men in scoring position, there's nobody better in all of baseball than Alan Craig. He's hitting .457 with runners in scoring position. Cardinals as a team hitting almost .330. That's how they score their runs.
Yeah, no one even close to that number in the major leagues. Most teams don't even have an individual who is hitting .330 with runners in scoring position, much less collectively as a team.
Right.
See the numbers over the last 3 years. Of course, Craig was so big in the postseason for St. Louis, helping them to that World Series title over the Rangers. 92 driven in last year, and he's on a pace to best that this season as he bounces to first, and the inning is over. But Carlos Beltran gives the Cardinals the lead with a home run. Brewers are coming up for the first time. Birthday victory for him tonight against St. Louis in an early hole down 1-0. Renicky putting together the starting lineup today. He's got some of his regulars back in there. It's brought to you by Piggly Wiggly. Aoki leads off, then Segura, followed by Lucroy, who had the day off yesterday. Ramirez, Francisco, and Chris Davis in the middle of the batting order, with Scooter Gennett, Logan Schaefer, and Marco Estrada rounding it out.
Well, Shelby Miller on the mound for St. Louis. 24th start for Miller. Came back with a very good start after being hit in the elbow with a line drive to start before. So the hard throwing right-hander that relies on high fastballs on the mound tonight. And he's 2-0 this year against the Brewers. He's given up only 1 run in 13 innings. And the Menards Cardinals defense, the best defense in all the National League. They are #1 in fielding percentage, only 55 errors, and they have turned more double plays than any team in the National League, 146.
And introducing you to Colton Wong, who has come up from the minor leagues. He has made an impact with these Cardinals. Talented young second baseman. And they're still searching for some answers defensively, although the Cardinals are statistically the best team in the league defensively, the fewest errors. It's not a club that has a whole lot of range defensively. Wong changes that a little bit, and that also changes the situation over third base, because Carpenter is a very good third baseman with some range as well.
Yeah, very solid up the middle. John Jay very good to center, and nobody better behind home plate than Molina.
And Wong gets the first chance. He bobbles right away, but recovers to make the play for out #1. That'll bring up Gene Segura. Brewers down 1-0 on a Beltran homer in the top of the first. They'll have to play catch up once again. Brewers lost yesterday in a forgettable day at Miller Park. It was a 9-1 Cincinnati win. Homer Bailey defeating Willie Peralta yesterday.
Yeah, but a good series for the Brewers overall. I mean, they split the series with Cincinnati, who's one of the best in the National League.
Now the Reds are headed home. They start a series tonight with the Arizona Diamondbacks. After this 3-game series with the Cardinals, the Brewers will take Thursday off and then start a series on the road in Cincinnati. Got a road trip coming up, Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. And they'll be seeing a lot of the National League Central over the next few days. Another bouncer to Wong. And 2 up and 2 down for Shelby Miller.
Well, Shelby Miller, as we mentioned, gets away with a lot of fastballs, particularly fastballs up in the strike zone. And they say he hides it very well. He turns that shoulder a little bit. And right at the last second brings that ball out from behind his back and making it difficult to pick up. And Johnny Nairn around the batting cage today saying that in the first 2 starts that Miller has made against the Brewers have chased a lot of high fastballs. They have a tough time laying off of it. And that's going to be a big key tonight.
2 up, 2 down. Here is Lucroy now. He's had a good homestand. Had that memorable moment on Friday night when he hit a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th against Aroldis Chapman, giving the Brewers their first win of the series. Lucroy did not start yesterday. Martin Maldonado catching Willie Peralta yesterday. Lucroy did get a pinch hit appearance and he flew out to right. So Jonathan comes in batting .282, 17 homers and 64 runs batted in. Homers and RBIs a career high for him at this point. And only adding to it. He's got a chance to hit 20 plus, maybe drive in around 75 plus this year. Very good numbers for a catcher and a guy who only catches. He's been playing a little first base this season. And if he keeps hitting like this, I'm sure that trend is going to continue where he plays more first base on the days that he's not behind the plate.
And 2 of the better offensive catchers in all of baseball in action here in this series. You know, Lucroy and Yadier Molina. And both of them pretty similar approaches if you think about it. Both of them try and shoot the ball up the middle into the opposite field.
2-2, and Lucroy right on cue, back up the middle, and a base hit on a 2-strike pitch. Keeps the inning alive for Ramirez. Another good piece of hitting by Lucroy.
Yeah, a baseball that a lot of hitters would try and pull. He pulls the hands in. The knob leads the barrel of the bat on a Shelby Miller breaking pitch that stayed up. The inside out approach and a line drive into center field. He has been right on everything lately.
That is a nice compact swing. Lucroy's been using it well for a good stretch now. So that'll get Ramirez a chance with a man on. Had the day off yesterday. Just now getting back into his rhythm after spending a month on the disabled list, which was his second trip to the DL this year. Left knee injury. He's had a good run against the Cardinals this year. He's 7 for 15 with a couple of homers. Both of those homers came in the same game in St. Louis.
Yeah, a couple of 3-run home runs in that game, and Brewers would like to see Ramirez get hot. He's only had 1 hit since returning from the disabled list.
Well, the stats just don't look right for a guy like Ramirez. 5 homers, 26 RBIs. For a big run producer in his career, it's just been an injury-plagued season, though. Ramirez calls it a bit of a lost season, but he does have a couple of months to finish strong, and he's hoping to do that and get himself ready for next year. He is certainly going to take advantage of the offseason to try to not only heal the left knee, but also strengthen it to the point where it is not a problem next year.
Yeah, it's all well and good to have Ramirez back in the lineup, but I think the Brewers are going to keep a close eye on that knee to make sure that he doesn't do anything that's going to jeopardize his year next year.
And he's moved the count in his favor 3-1. Yadier Molina just returning to the Cardinals roster from the DL. Certainly changes things for them defensively. And Miller lost him, so 2 base runners with 2 outs, a single and a walk. And that'll get Juan Francisco to the plate in the first inning.
And that's another thing the young right-hander doesn't do a whole lot of his walk batters. 37 walks coming into tonight's start, and you put that up against 137 strikeouts. So he is a strike thrower.
That'll bring up Juan Francisco. He's had a nice year against St. Louis. Has a home run against him. He's driven in 10 against the Cardinals this season. Just 1 hit on this homestand against Cincinnati, and that was a home run, opposite field home run.
Well, Juan Francisco likes the fastball, and you would figure he's going to get a lot of them tonight with Shelby Miller on the mound. He doesn't throw many breaking pitches. Francisco likes the fastball down. Miller likes to throw it up in his zone.
2 on, 2 out. All that damage Francisco did against the Cardinals came as a member of the Braves. This is his first appearance against St. Louis in a Brewers uniform this season. As a Brewer, Francisco is hitting .245 with 13 homers and 30 runs batted in. Came to the Brewers in early June. He had a violent cut, but he's down in the count 1-2.
And a little breaking pitch, maybe a cut fastball, 82 miles an hour. Just enough to keep the barrel of the bat off of that baseball. A little bit underneath.
Cardinals got a homer in the first from Beltran. Lucroy with a 2-out single. Ramirez walked with 2 away, and now Francisco trying to cash it in. Miller very deliberate prior to this pitch, and he got him up the ladder with a fastball, and Francisco strikes out. First strikeout for Shelby Miller in a scoreless first inning. Lead off this second inning. Our Carsoup.com email the booth question. Dean in Milwaukee wants to know who's the best defensive catcher in baseball all time, and our resident catcher Bill Schroeder has his opinions. I think Molina has to be in the conversation, certainly.
Well, he's the best that I've seen in a long time. I know Johnny Bench is certainly on that list. And Mike Matheny was pretty good, but I wouldn't put him in the Molina category when you talk about what Molina provides. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Matheny had 4 Gold Gloves, but I think Molina just takes it to a different level. I mean, when you consider, the offense that he provides and the leadership he provides, Matheny did the same. But Johnny Bench, Jim Sundberg was a heck of a defensive catcher.
Pudge Rodriguez.
He didn't get a whole lot of the accolades like a Johnny Bench did, and there may have been some that were before Johnny Bench. I'm just not aware of them. That was about the time I started getting into it.
I think Johnny Bench revolutionized the position. You look at a guy like Ivan Rodriguez and how he changed the game. Molina goes back up the middle of the base hit. That's the other part of Molina's game. He can really swing it, and he is a 500 hitter lifetime against Marco Estrada. So Molina winning the 5 Gold Gloves, and he's also won the Platinum Glove given to the best defender in the league. And then, Rock, what he's been able to do and what he's been able to turn himself into offensively is what really changes it for Molina as far as one of the best players in the game.
And that started about 3 years ago. I mean, before that time, he was considered to be an out at the plate. And I think what he's done is he's changed his approach. He goes to right field just about every time. Very rarely do you see him pull the baseball. On occasion, he'll do that. But everything up the middle, from center field around to the right field line, and that's changed him completely as a hitter. He's made him a tough out and a run producer.
Well, the MVP race is going to be an interesting one in the National League. There aren't many position players who are having the huge statistical year. So then you start looking at some of the other categories, and then you also have to start bringing in some pitching. And I think Clayton Kershaw, based on the Verlander argument from a couple of years ago, starts to look like an MVP candidate for the Los Angeles Dodgers. But I certainly think you could put Molina in that category based on what he does defensively, along with the high batting average.
Yeah, I would give him the MVP if it was my call at this point in the season. But I see where you're going with Clayton Kershaw. I mean, and not anybody better than Kershaw. A Cy Young Award winner a couple of years ago. Actually won the pitcher's triple crown. Wins, earned run average, and strikeouts. That's tough to do.
I thought the days of a pitcher winning the MVP were long gone until Verlander had such a great year in 2011. And when you have a season where the position players are not jumping off the page at you offensively, there are no Triple Crown candidates in the National League. There's some big years. Paul Goldschmidt is having a terrific year with the Diamondbacks. Molina. But you don't have those monster seasons to gauge. There's a bouncer. Francisco gloves it, throws it. Segura spins, and the return is just off the mark. Boy, there was a lot of activity in that play.
Yeah, Juan Francisco was all over the place on that play. It was a nice pickup and a good throw to Segura, but he tried the old ballet act to get back to first base. Just not able to get there in time to be able to take the throw. And that's why the pitcher busted over there. But Francisco's certainly close enough to the bag. And look at the pivot. Actually, Francisco went too far onto the bag. Everything is good up until here. Right here is when things kind of go astray. And Francisco off the bag and a little bit off balance, not able to find it.
Yeah, that left foot got him, didn't it?
Yeah, the footwork. That's an area that Francisco has had a tough time with.
Here's a slow roller. Segura shovels it to Jeanette, and he bails out. And a good thing, John Jay was coming in heavy on him. So the second out as Colton Wong wastes no time. And he'll reach on a fielder's choice.
Well, Scooter's going to learn that, based on who's hitting, you don't deal with the double play ball. He's lucky to get out of the way because John Jay coming in full guns a blazing, coming in to break up the double play. And He's better off just taking the force and getting out of there.
And Jeanette did the right thing. No chance he's going to get the Speedy Wong at first base anyway. Cardinals don't have a whole lot of team speed, but they do now in Wong. He has been a base stealer in the past. We'll see if he's on the move here.
The Cardinals are only 30 stolen bases.
Pete Kozma with 2 away and a check on Wong. You know, the talk about Francisco, and we talk a lot about it up here, but the footwork part of it is key, and this is a great example of things that he's going to have to learn at first base.
Yeah, just getting a sense for where first base is, you know, and footwork to allow you to get to more baseballs without coming off the bag. Actually overran the bag that time getting back. Got to be under control when you get there, and he'll learn.
And that's a catchable throw from Segura that could have ended in a double play. But again, you're dealing with a player who has never played first base until this season. And the Brewers are constantly working on the footwork at the bag on plays just like that. Kozma drives one right center. Schaefer gliding over. And he's got it to retire the side. So Estrada gives up a leadoff single, but puts up a 0 in the second. 1-0 Cardinals.
September 1. All fans of the Brewer Angel game get a bobblehead of Stormin' Gorman Thomas. Compliments of Wisconsin National Guard. Go to Brewers.com for tickets. And guys, Miller yesterday and 3 other Cardinal rookies, according to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, they served beverages to the rest of the team on the Cardinal bus ride from Chicago to Milwaukee. They wore special outfits. Chris Carpenter bought them white blouses, black skirts, and pantyhose, kind of getting that stewardess look. And yeah, I guess it's all part of paying your dues when you get to the show, guys.
Yeah, that's some serious rookie hazing right there. And the Cardinals have a lot of options on the rookie hazing department. It's kind of a regular thing for baseball. I'm sure the Brewers rookies are going to be dressing up in some kind of costumes at some point on one of these last few road trips.
But all the rookies that the Cardinals have, just about the whole team were dressed up.
It can get expensive for the veteran players.
You got 5 guys in the bullpen that are rookies.
Got a matchup of rookies here, and Shelby Miller and Chris Davis. Davis with 6 home runs, and he's done all of that since he has come back up for a second time. Technically, he's been up and down 3 times. He's done a good job. 6 homers and 13 runs batted in. Davis hitting for a .305 batting average. He hit a booming home run against the Reds earlier on this homestand. And he's shown power to all fields as well.
I was talking to Johnny Nairn about Chris before the ball game today around the batting cage. He was talking about his, how relaxed he is up at the plate, how quiet he is with his body until he decides to start the swing. He has a violent swing, but he's very much under control. Swings hard, but knows what he's doing. Really never off balance after a swing.
It's that one hard to short. Kozma backhands it. He's got a great arm, and he takes care of Davis for the first out.
Hey, tonight's Tavern the Game winner, Flame Sports Bar in Menominee. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin. And Miller Lite in Menominee, ever been there? It's about 40 miles from the Minnesota border on I-94. Nice town. I broke down one time in Menominee.
Did you get some help? Good Samaritans?
I did.
Nice.
Yep. Got him some tickets when we went to the Metrodome, and they were nice. Blew out a water pump.
You didn't stand outside your car and one of those signs says, "I have tickets."
No.
It wasn't like that?
No, I have done that, but I didn't do it then.
And if you'll log on to brewers.com/fantasycamp, you too can negotiate with Bill Schroeder. It's kind of a secondary ticket market up here. And
car overheated. I kind of coasted on in, and I got what I needed.
Scooter Jeanette off the end of the bat. Jay broke back. Comes in a few steps for out number 2.
It's not advisable to drive a car when you have the overheat light on.
Engine light.
Good. Smoke coming out. But
normally you just, when that shows up, a light comes on, you just turn that car in and get a new one.
Yeah.
That's typically how it's worked lately.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah.
Right. Good friends in Menominee.
Nice
folks.
Good to know there's some Brewers fans out there. Logan Schaefer takes a strike from Shelby Miller. Schaefer getting a lot of playing time in the absence of Carlos Gomez, who is not on the disabled list, but is not available either for a few days. Made that great catch, robbing Brandon Phillips of extra bases, crashed into the wall and had an injury to his knee, sprained right knee. The MRI showed no structural damage. So the Brewers don't feel like Gomez is going to miss 2 weeks, or else they'd put him on the disabled list, the 15-day DL. They feel like he might miss 5 days to a week, and that's why they're going to take their chances and play shorthanded until he comes back, and he's improving every day, and we could see him at least in a pinch hitting role in this series. Certainly see him by the Red Series on Friday on the road. So in the meantime, Schaefer will man center field. And down he goes on strikes. So Miller comes back. A 3-up, 3-down inning with a K, his second K. And we head to the third with the Cardinals leading.
These two teams already have plenty of rookies up, and there are some rookie pitchers who are making stories across baseball. So on our AT&T Twitter poll, we're asking Brewers fans to tweet us at FS Wisconsin with who they think, which rookie pitcher has had the most success this season. The Cardinals starter, Shelby Miller. Hyunjin Ryu of the Dodgers, 12-3, over 120 strikeouts for him. Jose Fernandez of the Marlins has gone 8-5, nearly 150 strikeouts. And Julio Teheran of the Braves, 10-6. Also an ERA just under 3, and some of these guys are factoring into the playoff picture as well, BA.
Yeah, for sure, and making a big impact. A lot of young players making big impacts with postseason teams right now, or at least postseason contenders. Shelby Miller is 11-8 with a 2.97 ERA and over 127 plus innings. That 2.97 ERA is just outside the top 10 in the National League. Clayton Kershaw is the ERA leader, but Shelby Miller is also a win away from being inside the top 5 in the National League, and he is among the favorites for the National League Rookie of the Year as well. And that pool includes position players, and you got guys like Yasiel Puig, and certainly Ryu is on that list. But there are a lot of young players who are going to play a big role in the postseason, and Shelby Miller played a big role in the postseason last year for St. Louis. Ended up on their postseason roster.
Amazing how many young pitchers the Cardinals have and how well they have been doing. Starting rotation filled with young guys. The bullpen. The Brewers just saw Cincinnati. They had the second best starting rotation earned run average in the National League. The Cardinals third. The Brewers are facing some pretty good starters. The Atlanta Braves are the top starting rotation in the National League.
2-2 to Miller, and Estrada strikes him out on a big swing from the Cardinal pitcher. Second strikeout for Marco. I hope you're enjoying Fox Sports Live. They debuted Saturday. The highlight show you've been waiting for. Jay Onright, Dan O'Toole, joined by Donovan McNabb, Gary Payton, the glove, Andy Roddick, and Carissa Thompson. They bring you everything you need to know about the world of sports. Fox Sports Live airs nightly on Fox Sports 1. Here's Matt Carpenter now, who takes a ball. Back to the top of the order for the Redbirds. Carpenter and Beltran. Beltran's homer, the only tally on the board so far. That came in the first. Carpenter, a strikeout victim in the first inning, was called out on strikes.
Kind of a throwback, isn't he? Just kind of sits up there and no batting gloves. Not even much pine tar. Just grabs that bat and goes. You don't see many guys do that anymore.
Played his college ball at TCU in Fort Worth. A 5-year player there. Played for his dad at TCU. And he was thought of as a good player. I don't think many felt he was going to be this kind of player in the big leagues. He's actually lost a lot of weight. He shed over 40 pounds to look like what he appears now. And he's turned himself into a very good talent in the big leagues, and he's been instrumental for the Cardinals in their leadoff spot this year.
Yep, curveball from Marco looked like a pretty good pitch. This offense is potent enough, let alone giving them extra strikes.
It's a lineup that can string together a lot of hits in a row, so the wheels can get cranking pretty quickly against St. Louis. 3-2, and Carpenter takes that one outside. So that is the first walk issued by Estrada, and a base runner with one out for Beltran. Brewers have had a tough time with the Cardinals this year. They are 2-8 against St. Louis. Cardinals are one back of Pittsburgh, 19 games over 500 as they enter play today. Won the last 2 games in Chicago, winning that series against the Cubs.
Hard to believe with pitching like the Cardinals have. They lost 7 in a row not too long ago. A long losing streak for a pitching staff like the one they have.
Well, again, you can point a lot of fingers to Yadier Molina for that. With Molina in the starting lineup, they're 21 over. With him out of the starting lineup, they're 2 games under. There's a slow roller. Francisco off the bag. Jeanette shovels it to him for out number 2. So Beltran is retired, but Carpenter advances.
Another off-speed pitch, but this time a curveball to get Beltran that time. Francisco just trying to figure out how far to go off the bag and decided let Scooter take it. Much easier play.
Does make for an awkward throw to first, though, when you're staring at a first baseman's back. Jeanette just shoveled it underhanded to him. So Holiday now at 2 away. And he's got Carpenter at second base. This is where the Cardinals thrive. This is one of the best hitting teams of all time with runners in scoring position.
And they've been hovering around 330 all season long, and everybody in baseball is saying, well, that's not going to last. Well, here we are in mid-August, and they're still hitting almost 330. Look at the difference.
It's not even close from number 1 to number 2. And this is something you never see in the major leagues, or any league for that matter, as a team hitting this well with runners in scoring position. And not this time, as Holiday pops it up. Gene Segura will make the call and the catch, and the side is retired. Now Marco Estrada, facing his mound opponent, picks up his second strikeout. Wasn't for a lack of effort by the Cardinal pitcher.
Lead a Carlos Beltran home run. Hey, come out to Miller Park as the Brewers host the Angels Friday, August 30th through Sunday, September 1st. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit Brewers.com.
Yeah, that's going to be the only series that breaks up this long run against the National League Central. That 3-gamer against the Angels. An Angels club that is going to be without Albert Pujols. News today that he is going to miss the rest of the season. Charter Cable high-speed pitch. You look at Miller topping out at 96. Estrada at 91 as those two match up against each other to start the 3rd inning.
And now you know why he can get away with that fastball up around the belt. He's got something behind it. And not much of a breaking pitch. He'll throw it up there once in a while, but he's going to get most of his outs with his fastball.
Marco's had a good year at the plate this year. He's very unconventional, but he's been getting the job done. He's 5 for 20, has a couple of RBIs. I'm just kind of wondering why everybody's talking about the Cardinals' batting average with runners in scoring position. He feels like maybe he should be discussed in that manner.
Yeah, Marco 3 for 7. That's 429.
No, he didn't really say that.
But he is actually hitting 429.
Right.
With runners in scoring position. Aoki, as far as position players, leads the Brewers at 300, right on the nose.
And Estrada draws the walk. So Shelby Miller, sensing the big numbers offensively from Marco Estrada, clearly pitching around him to lead off this third inning. So Estrada is aboard. Stop tweeting right now. That was a joke.
You really think you would have heard about that?
I hear about a lot of things.
Yeah. I knew you were joking.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes you only hear what you want to hear. So Estrada's aboard, and here is Aoki now. Sure, there is some element of concern with Marco Estrada on the bases, coming back from the hamstring injury. He is not fleet of foot, but he's also a guy that has had hamstring injuries in the past. That's his typical trip to the disabled list over the last few years.
Yeah, it's not been because of the arm, it's because of the legs. And Miller having a tough time trying to scratch out a spot for his landing foot.
And he's fallen behind Nori Aoki. Cardinals are certainly interested to see how Miller will continue on this year after he was hit in the elbow. Threw just 2 pitches in a start on the 7th of August against the Dodgers. Carl Crawford ripped one back up the middle. As Aoki into right center, that's going to get down a base hit. And Estrada will hold at second. A walk and a single to start the third, and the Brewers in business.
Yep, Aoki attacking a 2-0 pitch, and Miller laying one right down the middle, and Aoki with a base hit to right. A lot of fastballs from Shelby Miller. This one very hittable down in the strike zone, and that's what the Brewers need to do. They need to make him get pitches down around mid-thigh. And he becomes very hittable up in the strike zone, not so much.
So here is Segura with 2 on and nobody out. Segura and Matt Carpenter tied at the top of the National League hits leaderboard. Segura, in his first trip to the plate, bounced out to second base. Carpenter is 0 for 1 with a walk. It'll be fun watching these two swing the bat in this series. Segura's been near the top or at the top of this list for a good part of the year. Carpenter just caught him. 149 hits apiece. It'll be tough for a National Leaguer to collect 200 hits this year, but you figure those on this list, at least the top 5, are the ones that have a chance to do it.
Oh, on the Central. What's that tell you? I'm asking you. I don't know.
Segura into center field. Estrada's going to tag. Jay makes a catch, and Estrada will make it to third base. So it's an out, but it does deliver Marco Estrada to third. And he's there with 1 out for Lucroy. Chance of Luke raining down. He's on a Powerball home run leaderboard. He's currently 3rd on the club. Gomez and Francisco with 18. Lucroy with a career best 17. And the 17th home run of the year for him was a memorable one. His first career walk-off on Friday night against Cincinnati. Lucroy has a game-winning home run aside from that one this year. That was on the road in St. Louis, you might remember. That was a 10th inning home run.
A top of the 10th. And the Brewers still holding their ground 4th in the National League. Cardinals all the way down to 13th in the league in home runs.
Cardinals look to turn 2. Lucroy trying to at least get one in the air to the outfield. And he fouls that one back, and it's 0-2. This has been a spot where the Brewers have struggled throughout most of the year. It's been a lot better in recent weeks. It's one of the reasons the Brewers have been able to win more games recently. But executing in the fundamental spots of the offense, like this situation with a runner at third and less than 2 outs.
And Lucroy has been very good in this spot, hitting at .317. Doesn't need a hit, just a fly ball, but it needs to be relatively deep.
And that's going to fall into right field, a base hit. That'll get it done. Estrada scores. And Lucroy with another 2-strike single. This time it produces a run. And the Brewers have tied it up. Rocked both of his hits on 2-strike pitches for Miller.
And one of them up the middle and one of them to right. A high fastball, able to pull the hands in and get on top of it. And Brewers have had a tough time centering on that high fastball all year against Miller. This being his 3rd start against the Brewers, but not that time.
So 2 on with 1 out, and that'll get Aramis Ramirez to the plate.
That's the thing about 2-strike hitters. Normally good 2-strike hitters are guys that do that. Don't try and pull the baseball. That's why they're not afraid to take pitches, be patient at the plate, look for one they like. Even with 2 strikes, it really doesn't bother them to be up there with 2 strikes.
And Ramirez pops it up in the infield fly rule, which brings to mind some interesting memories for the St. Louis Cardinals and their fans from their wild card game last year. Got the benefit of an infield fly rule call in Atlanta. But this one was legit, and Ramirez is out. 2 gone in the inning. That'll bring up Francisco.
Would that be reviewable? You think?
That's a very good question.
An infield fly rule. A question of whether that's an infield fly or not. Judgment call. But they're all judgment calls, right?
Yeah, they are for sure. I like that question. I haven't thought about that. That play last year in the wild card game, the ball that dropped between Cosma and Holiday. Braves at that time had the bases loaded. They were threatening to score and get back into the game. Kyle Loesch will remember that game. He was the starting pitcher that night for St. Louis. So they called it infield fly rule. The ball dropped between them. It was a late call. And then 40,000 beer bottles came flying onto the field after that.
Yeah. I don't see how you could review that. Well, maybe. Nobody really knows what is reviewable and what is not.
Not yet, but it's on the way. That's a good question, good hypothetical.
Because I guarantee a challenge would have been made.
Yeah, what would you overturn? The lateness of the call,
No,
I guess?
the fact that it was an infield fly.
The distance of the ball from home plate?
Right. Nobody was camped under it.
Well, Francisco strikes out again. And he strands 2, but the Brewers score. They get an RBI single from Jonathan Lucroy. He's 2 for 2 tonight. And we're all even at 1 apiece. Is brought to you by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic, don't just live, shine. Beautiful moon tonight. Clear skies up above, got a great shot of it.
Not a full moon, though.
Not quite?
Wednesday is full moon.
Oh, is that right?
3:44 a.m. Full moon.
We're in some kind of gibbous mode right there, I assume?
Yeah, one of them. Waxing.
Now Marco Estrada back on the mound. All tied at 1 now after Lucroy's RBI single. And he will face the middle of this St. Louis order. Craig Molina and John Jay. Brewers continuing their homestand tomorrow and Wednesday afternoon. They'll wrap it up before heading on the road. Craig bounced out to first base in the first inning. The lazy fly ball. Schaefer got a long way to go and cannot get there. That falls. If you've been with us the last few nights, you might have heard Rock talk about Schaefer and how he's being positioned in this series with Gomez out with the injury. Ron Renicky and Ed Cedar are positioning Schaefer very deep. And apparently that's the way Gomez is going to be when he comes back too. They can't afford any more lost time. They want to try to eliminate crashing into the walls, and that's the risk you run when you play so deep.
And you have to really, your first step has to be in for the most part to be able to get to a baseball like that.
Now the Brewers have Aoki who can play center field, but he is, I don't think, what you would call a big league center fielder anymore. He certainly was in Japan. But playing a man short and really without a center fielder. Renicky asking Logan Schaefer to play a lot deeper than he normally does, and probably a little deeper than he's comfortable with. Can ill afford an injury right now with Gomez not on the DL, but not available either for the next few nights. Yadier Molina with a man on. There he goes, and a swing and a foul. Had the hit and run on, did the Cardinals.
A great hit and run guy, Yadier Molina. And Craig really not known for his speed, but he will run from time to time. Anybody can execute a hit and run as long as you have the right guy at the plate. Emphasis on the hitter on the hit and run.
One and two to Molina, and that one is inside, maybe a little high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Molina singled back up the middle. His lifetime average against Marco Estrada is up over 500 now. He is 10 for 19 career. 10 hits, 19 at bats against Marco Estrada. Been a tough out. It's a .526 batting average.
And because Molina waits back on off-speed pitch as well, not trying to pull it, and stays back, and he's able to hit the changeup into center field, the curveball, and for the most part, he's able to lay off the high fastball.
Three and two, and Estrada checking on Craig.
Alan Craig 2 for 2 in stolen base opportunities. Not a guy that runs a lot, but he'll pick his spots. See if he runs here. Molina doesn't strike out much. Maybe try and stay out of a double play.
Cardinals don't have a player on their active roster who has double-digit steals. Craig goes, and a line drive base hit. That's going to get down into the corner. Craig is going to be waved home. Jeanette cuts it off, and the throw to the plate is late, and Molina drives in a run. The hit and run executed to perfection. 2-1 St. Louis.
And a fastball out over the plate. Molina goes right with it. No surprise there. Very good 2-strike hitter. Pitch was on the corner but up, and Molina able to get on top of it, line it down the right field line, and with Craig running on the pitch, he scores easily. Can't make mistakes to Molina up out over the plate. And Marco just did.
And Molina is 2 for 2 tonight. Gives the Cardinals the lead once again. Nobody out. Here is John Jay. And a bouncer. Francisco gloves it. Will step on the bag for the quick out. Molina does advance. So the first out of the inning as we send it down to Mark Concannon.
BA, set your compass due north Thursday nights on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Join host Bill Shirk and Lara Shara as they take a look at the stories and adventures of outdoor enthusiasts in the upper Midwest. It's Due North Outdoors, Thursdays at 6:30 only on Fox Sports Wisconsin. BA, we've got to get Rock on the show. Anybody with that intimate a knowledge of the phases of the moon? This is a voice that has to be heard on that show.
Absolutely. He is the voice of the outdoors.
And you know what? The moon phases have a lot to do with how good the fishing is.
All right. Excellent.
So if you know the moon and you know the kind of bait they use, you're in good shape, man.
The moon has nothing to do with how good the announcing is, though. So
no.
Don't even start with us.
Actually, full moon, not good for announcers.
You've got some experience with that, huh?
So good that we have the day off on Wednesday.
Good point. The swing and a miss. Wong is down 0-2. Young 22-year-old infielder, former first rounder by the Cardinals in his 4th big league game tonight. Played his college ball at Hawaii. Infield in, no balls, 2 strikes, and he got him with a changeup. Boy, good looking pitch, and a much needed strikeout for Marco Estrada for the second out. And that falls into our head and shoulders whiff.
Now, the one thing you want to do if you're facing a guy you've never seen, a young hitter, see if you can hit your best pitch. And that's the changeup for Marco, and well located down in the strike zone, and Wong chases one. Our head and shoulders whiff.
And 2 outs. That'll relax the infield back to normal depth for Pete Kozma.
And be careful here. You've got the pitcher coming up. You got first base open. Don't make a mistake here.
In there for a strike, 1-1. And it goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Kozma hitting just .223 this year. He did a great job for them last season. They were wondering where they were going to find a shortstop. Turns out they had one in their system all along. Call was down for the year, and Kozma filled in nicely. He is in a bad stretch right now, though. He's 0 for his last 16. Flew out to center field his first time up. Got the pitcher due up next. Estrada working from the windup with Molina at third. And a bouncing ball to short. Segura has got a spin. The throw is right on the money. Good play, Gene Segura. Makes it look easy each and every night. Saves another run. The Cardinals get one, however, as Molina drives in Craig. 2-1 St. Louis. Double as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Well, the Milwaukee Brewers Wives and Brewers Community Foundation are pleased to make a contribution in honor of the principal owner of the team's wife, Debbie Atanasio. As a tribute to Debbie's spirit of philanthropy, 10 custom-made mirrors are being donated to the Ronald McDonald House in her honor. Colorful mirrors featuring encouraging phrases were presented by the Brewers Wives today. There's a good look at them. Katina Shaw and Cecilia Gore of the Brewers Community Foundation were there. So a nice touch. Bottom of the fourth with Chris Davis leading off, and Shelby Miller ahead of him. No balls and 2 strikes. And Davis, he is down on 3 pitches. Chased one that time. That's strikeout number 4 for Shelby Miller.
I'm not sure what it is about the release of Shelby Miller, but he has a lot of hitters, not just the Brewers, swinging pitches out of the strike zone and basically just using the fastball predominantly. A very defensive swing by Davis. He's usually a pretty good fastball hitter. Something about the release point and the way he delivers the baseball that really confuses a hitter. And that's what pitching's all about. Disrupting the timing.
Hitters tell you about Miller, who his first 2 times against the Brewers used mostly fastballs, over 80% fastballs in those 2 starts. But they talk about a finishing kick.
And Johnny was talking about the way he gets rid of the baseball. It actually rises a little bit. Most guys will pitch on a downward plane, and watch the way he bends his knees, goes down, and actually that ball actually has an upward arc to it. Not quite, but it seems like that. That's why it is very difficult to center up on his fastball. Most hitters are underneath.
He's the first Cardinal rookie since Jaime Garcia back in 2010 to record double-digit wins. Cardinals haven't had a right-handed rookie to double-digit wins in over a decade. Got to go back to the 2002 season. Jason Simon Tachi was the last to do that. He's been much better at home. He's been dominant at home. His road numbers are just so-so. 5-5, a 4.10 ERA on the road, but at home he's 6-3 and a 1.88 earned run average. Scooter Gennett plows one through the middle, a base hit. This guy is on some kind of tear at the plate.
He just looks good on everything. I mean, waiting back on off speed and always on balance. I mean, you talk about perfect balance after his swing, and you look at Scooter Gennett, check it out. I mean, weight equally distributed, the body straight up, and that's a perfect swing. A level swing and a base hit into center field.
Well, Gennett went 10 for 20 on the recent road trip, 10 hits and 20 at bats, and on this homestand he is now 5 for 11. And he's aboard with 1 out for Logan Schaefer. A little bit late and a foul pop. Carpenter will give it a look. It's close, and he'll make the catch. So Schaefer is retired. Boy, those burn as a hitter. The first pitch foul pop. Where's Bartman when you need him?
Well, they're looking at the baseball. They don't know that Carpenter's even there.
So 2 are out now, and that'll bring up Marco Estrada. Marco walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Scored on Lucroy's RBI single. Estrada has perfected the flare over the second baseman's head. That's his spot. That's his wheelhouse out there. Playing him awful deep in right field, actually. Miller deals him strike 2. I'm surprised Beltran is so deep against Estrada.
And Holiday. And John Jay's even a little bit deep on Marco. They're looking at that 250 batting average and say this guy probably packs a pretty good punch.
Down he goes on strikes, the 5th for Shelby Miller in the scoreless 4th inning. We are through 4. Cardinals lead 2-1.
Cardinals with a 2-1 lead. And just a reminder, fans eat free for the month of August. At each August home game, fans will receive one $10 voucher, valid for food, drinks, tickets, and merchandise. For details, visit brewers.com/eat-free. Good deal. Good food. Good offer. Come on out.
Yeah, 2 more days at Miller Park remaining on this homestand. Let's send it down to Mark.
Well, BA, our minor league report. Caleb Gindel had a homer and 3 RBIs in Nashville's loss to Round Rock last night. Caleb has at least 1 hit in all 5 games since the Brewers sent him to AAA last week. He's 7 for 22 during that stretch. Gindel's last hot streak in Nashville got him promoted to Milwaukee, and guys, he's definitely moving in that direction once again.
Yeah, he was really swinging the bat well in the big leagues, and good to see that he has continued that in AAA. And the reason he got sent down has nothing to do with his talent and the fact that he was proving himself very well. I think the Brewers just wanted to get a longer look at Chris Davis. You know, the type of the way the season's gone, you're making decisions based on next year, thinking about next year. And I think you've made a good point that I think the Brewers, they answered a lot of questions with Caleb Gindel. They know what he is, but they weren't so sure on Chris Davis, and Davis is getting most of the playing time right now.
And taking good advantage of it. He's been pretty good, swinging the bat well. He's made some very nice defensive plays out in left field, and Caleb will be back in September, if not before.
The Brewers will expand their rosters September 1st. You can expand up to 40 from the current 25. It probably won't do that, but there'll be a number of players who we'll see that have had good minor league seasons, and you're trying to evaluate for next season. Two balls, 2 strikes on Estrada's mound opponent, Shelby Miller. And he got him. So a strikeout. He gets him again on strikes. Marco has 4.
Gives him a taste of his own medicine, a high fastball.
And that'll take us back to the top of the order in Matt Carpenter. Cardinals with 2 runs. They got a home run from Beltran in the first, and then an RBI double on a hit and run with Molina at the plate in the 4th inning. Alan Craig scored all the way from first on a double down the right field line. Brewers got their run in the 3rd inning. Lucroy with a 1-out RBI single. It'll be a tough stretch for the Brewers. They're already in it. Went out on that West Coast trip. San Francisco, Seattle, then to Arlington to play the Rangers. They faced some of the best pitching in the big leagues during that trip. Names like Lincecum and Kane and Bumgarner, Iwakuma, Felix Hernandez. Then they finally got to Texas, and they got Alexi Ogando and Matt Garza.
Right.
Had a winning road trip. They went 5-4 on the 9-gamer.
Yeah, guys have been battling. They really have. I mean, the young players have infused a little bit of enthusiasm into the lineup, and it's been fun watching them. It really has. Guys like Jeanette and Davis. Tyler Thornburg's put together some nice outings.
And the Brewers getting healthier in their starting rotation as well. The rotation has been very good up until yesterday. Peralta struggled yesterday, giving up 7 earned runs in 4 1/3. But Gallardo is back. Estrada returning. Now making his 3rd start. Gallardo will pitch next against Cincinnati.
And that's the thing about, you know, just one bad outing at this point in the season. Peralta did such good work to get his earned run average at 4.3, and well, you give up 7 earned runs in 4+ innings. That'll kill you.
Carpenter pops it up into left. And he is 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. 2 outs in the 5th inning. That'll bring up Beltran.
Peralta's earned run average went from 4.3 to 4.6. in one start. Takes a while, takes a long stretch of good outings to get the earned run average down, but it doesn't take long to get it back up there. One bad start.
Bouncing ball past Francisco. A base hit for Beltran. Like Francisco had a little spin out over at first base.
Yeah, it looked like he was there, just couldn't get the glove down. Yeah, half a step and just kind of the footwork again. I mean, it's a footwork issue for Francisco. Moving those feet.
It's one of those that goes down as a hit, but certainly a ball that should have been played. And Estrada now will have to face Holiday with a man on. Cardinals up 2-1. And Holiday late fouls it out of play.
Holiday taking a long walk toward that dugout, fixing his gloves. He's probably thinking, how do I miss that pitch? It was 89 miles an hour. Right down the middle of the plate, and he fouled it straight back. That's about as much emotion that you'll see at a Holiday. He's noticeably upset with himself after that.
It doesn't give you much. Just that threat of the changeup, just the thought of it. And hitters have seen Estrada over the years, and they know it's there. And it can make an 89-mile-an-hour fastball, especially if it's away. It can add some velocity to it. It's unusual for a guy who doesn't have the big fastball to be successful up in the strike zone. But and there's another case right there, but that's where Estrada can live, primarily because he has a good curveball and he throws that good changeup. And the timing is all disrupted when he's throwing strikes with everything.
And he's thrown a lot of fastballs tonight. I haven't seen many changeups. I think that the plan was that they're going to be looking for it. Of course, Beltran hit a changeup out of the ballpark.
He's going back to it. A fastball upstairs. And Holiday into center field. He jammed him a little bit. Schaefer will make the catch, and Estrada is out of the inning. To the bottom of the fifth. Top of the order coming up. Two to one. On our way to the bottom of the fifth. Cardinals with 2 runs on 5 hits. The Brewers have a run on 4 hits. The Subway in-game box score. Lucroy has 2 of those hits and has the only RBI. Drove in a run with a single in the 3rd. So the top of the order coming up. We head to the 5th. Aoki leads off. Takes ball 1. I was looking at a game between innings, the Rangers and the Astros, as Aoki sends that one deep, and goodbye, Nori Aoki. His 7th home run. This one ties the game.
Well, he got a base hit on a 2-0 pitch. He hits a home run on a 1-0 pitch. Our Powerball home run count for Norichika Aoki, number 7, on a fastball, similar location to his base hit, and knocks this one out of the ballpark, way back out there and right. Aoki's facing at the second deck.
Aoki with his first home run since late July. Homered on the 28th of July at Colorado. He's been flirting with a home run on this homestand a few times. He's had a couple of near misses. This one, no doubt. And we're all tied at 2 as the Brewers match the Cardinals in the hit column at 5.
And fastball down, and Aoki takes advantage of it with the count in his favor.
Gene Segura, he's 0 for 2 tonight.
I think the only base hit that the Brewers have tonight on pitches that were at the belt or above was Jonathan Lucroy's second hit. Fastball, he was able to fight off and hit into right field. Everything else, as we talked about, and Johnny Nairn was saying before the game, got to get him down in the strike zone with the fastball. And when they do, they get good swings. Trouble is that pitch looks so good to you.
Well, I'm sure the Cardinals have a little bit of concern moving forward as they go down the pennant race stretch run. You know, they're relying on a lot of young players and young pitchers, starting pitchers at that, and it's tough to ask a lot out of them down the stretch. Start to getting to an innings level where they've never been, as Miller throws a good breaking ball to strike out Segura. And his 6th K of the game.
Got a good breaking pitch too. He hung one to Luke Croy, got a base hit, but this was a good one with 2 strikes.
And Miller, after the home run, comes back with a strikeout.
That was a good shot behind home plate of the curveball, and there's your answer to the folks that say curveballs are an optical illusion. Are you kidding me? Did you see that ball break?
It definitely goes from one place to another a lot quicker than the other kind of pitches.
Yeah. Some say it really doesn't break.
Just gravity takes over?
I don't know what they think.
I don't buy that.
One sure way to convince folks to think that. Put them in the batter's box.
Let them face one, right? That looked like a changeup right there. That missed. 2-0 is the count. Now Miller, if he keeps at this pace, will log more innings than he's ever pitched in his career. There's a curveball strike. He's throwing a lot more off-speed pitches in this start than he has in his prior 2 starts against Milwaukee. Going back with a changeup. And Lucroy fouls it away.
And Molina puts the signs down. You think there's any hesitation? He doesn't even think about getting shaken off. Puts the sign down, gets up in his stance, and gives a target. Bingo. Doesn't even look. A lot of times a guy will put his sign down and see if a pitcher wants it. Molina doesn't even consider anything else.
Certainly helps with the pitcher's rhythm and takes a big part of the game away from him mentally, where he can just rock and fire to whatever his catcher wants. Kyle Loesch talked about Yadier Molina and in that regard, and he was his catcher for many years in St. Louis, and it is a bit of an adjustment when you go somewhere else. It's no knock against Lucroy or Maldonado. It's just there's really nobody in Molina's league in that category. And you can understand why a young pitching staff is succeeding more so when Molina catches. Lucroy right off the end of the bat. Did it hit the bag? No, that is a foul ball. That was close. Looked like it might have clipped the corner of the bag, but first base umpire Marty Foster was right there. And a foul ball. It had some English on it regardless.
And right off the end of the bat. It bounced the first time in fair territory, and if it goes over the corner of the bag, it looked like it was foul.
Yeah, good call. Two and two, and Lucroy works it full. Lost him. 8-pitch at bat. Lucroy draws the walk. And a man on with one out. Aoki homered to start this inning to tie it. And now the Brewers have a man on. Shelby Miller, part of that young rotation. The reason why Kyle Loesch was not re-signed, because they love their young pitching and they have tapped into their minor league system a great deal this season. Look at all the pitchers the Cardinals have used this season, 10 of them. With Wainwright leading the way with 26 starts, Miller making his 25th tonight. It's a lot of starting pitching to go through. The Brewers have used 11 starters this year. Just for some context, last year the Cincinnati Reds won the division in the Central Division in the National League. They used just 5 starters the whole season.
Yeah. The Orioles this year have used 14. And they're right in the thick of it.
Doesn't mean you can't succeed with a number of starters. It just means your depth, specifically your upper level minor league system, has to have the kind of talent, the kind of pitchers who can produce at this level. Cardinals certainly have that. Ball and a strike on Ramirez. That one's in there. 1-2. Cardinals lost Jaime Garcia for the season. Jake Westbrook is struggling right now. He's teetering to stay in the rotation. Westbrook will pitch on Wednesday against Gorzolani. Tomorrow it's Lance Lynn against Loesch. By the way, I meant to tell you, Rock, the Rangers, they lead the Astros 13-1.
Yeah.
They scored 11 runs in an inning. Texas handing 9 runs on Lucas Harrell and an 11-run third.
Wow.
At home against Houston. Ramirez chases and down he goes. So strikeout number 7 for Miller. 2 outs in the inning.
Another pitch that's off the outside corner. Ramirez swings and misses. He got Segura on a curveball. Chris Davis back in the fourth swung at a pitch out of the zone away.
Well, 2 of the 7 strikeouts coming to Francisco tonight, and on both occasions the Brewers have had 2 runners on. He's got 1 on here. And he cuts and misses. There's just something about Miller that Francisco just doesn't see. He's got a hole in his bat.
Yeah, hitters like Francisco go through stretches like that. Just can't figure it out. You just have to grind it out up there at the plate and hope you get through it. Home run hitters sometimes will have a difficult time in making contact, even on pitches right down the middle of the plate, like that.
It's 1-2.
I've been through it.
Start praying for those foul balls to be caught. Francisco is in a hole again. Got Lucroy at first. And he got him again. Boy, 3 strikeouts, 5 left on for Francisco, but Nori Aoki sends one out, turned around a fastball from Miller, and the Brewers have tied it up, headed to the 6th. Here, and it ties the game at 2. 5 in the books, the opener of this series between the Brewers and the Cardinals. Great to have you with us. We'll be back on the air tomorrow on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And a programming note, Wednesday will not be televised. You have to catch that one on the Brewers radio network. And we'll be back with you on Friday in Cincinnati. Speaking of radio, I want to send out our best wishes to Mike Shannon, longtime radio announcer of the Cardinals. He is out with an illness right now, and we're wishing him the best and hoping for a speedy recovery, as Mike Shannon is not with the Cardinals right now. He's as much a part of the Cardinals as any other man alive that I can think of at this point.
Yeah, and he's walking around the field during batting practice and in all black, the black jacket, the black pants, and
John Rooney working with Ricky Horton on the Cardinals radio network this week. Alan Craig leading off for St. Louis. Craig, Molina, and Jay. Been a tough part of the order for Estrada. Craig is 1 for 2. Molina is 2 for 2. Craig is a very good hitter, and even standing at the plate, he has an intimidating presence. Feels like he doesn't have many holes in his swing. He's a good opposite field hitter, got great opposite field power. Almost stalks a pitcher as he waits. Well, Estrada gets one in on him, though, which is tough to do. Schaefer will make the call, and he's got it for the out. All right, Rock, our Ho Chunk Gaming text question. comes from Fred in Rice Lake. He wants to know, does a pitcher's delivery change between a fastball and an off-speed pitch?
Well, if it did, for a pitcher, he wouldn't be in the big leagues very long, because hitters can pick that stuff up. Coaches, you have video, and anything that you do to tip off what you're throwing, that's going to be determined, and you're not going to last long. You know, the only difference between a fastball and an off-speed pitch is the grip on the baseball and the position of the wrist. Out of the same arm slot, the fastball, all the pitches have to be thrown the same way, the same delivery, the same arm slot, same release point. If it's not, you're not going to last long.
Well, Estrada facing Molina. He's been a tough out, and he's got another hit. Yadier Molina is feeling it tonight. That's his third hit. He's 3 for 3. Just getting back from the disabled list in his fourth game.
I've got half of the Cardinals hits. So Mark has been pretty effective, except for Yadier Molina. Got a curveball down in the strike zone, went down and got it, and into left field this time.
Well, he has used every inch of the field. His first hit was to center field. He had a double down the right field line, and now he pulls one into left. So he is on for John Jay. Jay is 0 for 2. Had such a great year last year, hit over 300. He's hitting 273 this season. Opposite field, slicing, long run for Davis. That'll be in the seats. Now we send it down to Mark on John Jay.
Jay has really raised his average this month. He leads the National League in hits in August with 26. He came into tonight hitting .364 in August with 7 doubles. The dog days, no problem for John Jay.
And he's taking over that everyday job in center field. And he's had it since the 2011 season. That was really the big trade the Cardinals were able to make. Jay was responsible for that run to the World Series, because Jay was swinging the bat so well. He was playing so well. The Cardinals were able to trade Colby Rasmus, big prospect, and they had thought Rasmus was going to be their center fielder for years. But because Jay was so good, Rasmus became expendable, and he brought in quite a haul for St. Louis as they totally revamped their bullpen. And that's what is ultimately got them to the postseason and, of course, to the World Series. Made the trade with the Blue Jays for Rasmus.
Yeah, having John Jay and the fact that Rasmus and Tony La Russa didn't see eye to eye, you knew who was going to win that battle. See you later.
Jay hits that one hard, center field. Schaefer turns and runs, and that ball's gone. 2-run homer. And the Cardinals are back on top. Jay with his 7th of the year. And it is 4-2 St. Louis.
Well, curveball up in the strike zone this time, and look at John Jay go down and get it. Actually, not that much up. He golfed it on out of there, but Estrada wanted it further down. Left it up enough for Jay to be able to hit it hard into center field and just sneak over that center field wall.
You could tell by the sound of that contact, it was hit well. So the Brewers able to tie it up, and the Cardinals able to answer quickly, just like they did the last time the Brewers tied it. Bouncing ball in the hole. Segura's got it. Long throw to first. Not in time. That was a great play by Segura, but Wong is too fast. And that is his first major league hit. But Segura made him work for it.
No, not many shortstops are even going to be able to make a throw, let alone make a throw with enough on it to make it close. And right on the money, a one-hop strike to Francisco. Now Francisco goes out and tries to grab that baseball away from him as opposed to close to his body, might be able to get an out. Or at least it would have been a lot closer. Francisco trying to play the hop, not able to stretch it out. And Wong gets the base hit.
So a first for him. A moment he'll never forget. And he is on with one out in the sixth. 3 straight hits for the Cardinals. Here's Pete Kozma.
Now this guy at first base will run. Talked about his last time up. 20 out of 21 in the minor leagues in stolen bases.
That was at AAA Memphis. There he goes. Lucroy's throw. And Wong is in there. So he gives St. Louis something they really don't have, and that's a stolen base threat.
He got a good jump. And not even close. I think a perfect throw might be close, but you know the throw sails a little bit. Jeanette able to knock it down and keep Wong at second base. Yeah, first of his career in the big leagues, a stolen base.
And he's at second with one out for Kozma. In the right center, Aoki got a late break, but he's there fighting with the lights, able to make the catch as he falls down. Well, that turned out to be a little more adventurous than was expected off the bat.
Trying to get down as low as he can to get an angle to see that baseball. Got caught in the lights or the ribbon boards. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, Nori able to haul it in. That's the main thing.
So Kozma still at second with 2 outs, and the pitcher coming up. It's Miller. Broken bat, little flare to right. Much easier this time, and the inning is over. But John Jay delivers a 2-run homer, and the Cardinals are back on top, headed to the bottom of the 6th.
Of Miller Park, and for just $18, join Crew HD and get a ticket package that includes a Terrace Reserve ticket to select Brewers games and 1 adult admission ticket to Harley-Davidson's Great Museum. For tickets, go to brewers.com/HD Museum, and the Harley birthday bash, the 110th, coming up in about a week or so, guys.
All right, looking forward to that. We did a game once from the Harley-Davidson deck.
It was fun.
I guess we must have worn out our welcome. We haven't been invited back since. But that was a great place to do a game out there. I enjoyed that. We got a big tailgate going tomorrow, by the way, Rock. Make sure you're here early.
We got our folks from Clements going to feed the crew.
Chris Davis drilled by the first offering from Shelby Miller. After the Cardinals get him a couple of runs to take the lead in the 6th, Miller puts Davis aboard with a hit by pitch.
Not going to give him any bratwurst for that. Well, yeah, it's an annual thing out there at the South Dock, and folks from Clements, they come down with some product and feed the TV crew. We're going to do a couple of pregame segments out there, and it's always a lot of fun. You coming out?
I'll be there, absolutely. Always. Be the first one there.
Sausages are coming. I mean, the ones that race.
Oh, okay.
There's going to be a lot laying on the grill, too, but
don't confuse the two. They're highly flammable this time of year. It's been a long year.
Yeah.
Jeanette, a bunt that's going to be fielded by Carpenter, who makes the play to first for the out. So a bang bang play. Advancing Davis. By the way, the famous racing sausages were in action a moment ago, and it was over before it started. Chorizo just running away with it.
Did he jump the gun though? Well, sometimes they do, you know. It's tough to hear. These guys don't hear very well.
This styling going into the
haunting
into the ribbon. A little showmanship, a little swagger from El Chorizo. You don't want to be embarrassing the rest of the sausages. It only comes back to get you. Logan Schaefer with a runner at second. By the way, you can give Jeanette a sacrifice.
Well, he was bunting for a base hit, but he's going to get a sacrifice. You no sense in bunting, sacrificing down by a couple of runs. Especially the way Scooter's been swinging the bat.
Well, Schaefer is 0 for 2. It's been a frustrating night for him offensively. He fouled out on the first pitch he saw in the 4th inning after Miller struck him out in the 2nd. Yesterday, Schaefer hit second. He was 1 for 4. Got Davis at second, and Schaefer fouls it back once again. Ball and 2 strikes. We got the pitcher spot due up next. Sean Halton is already on deck. And Rob Wooten will be next out of the bullpen, or first out of the bullpen tonight. Looks like Estrada's night is done. The Brewers trying to give him a chance to win this game. Going to need to score in this inning as Schaefer lays off a tough breaking ball. 2-2 to Logan Schaefer. Marco goes 6 innings, and at this point 4 runs on 8 Cardinal hits, and that 2-run homer by John Jay burned him. He was very upset after that ball went out. But you hold the Cardinals around 4. The Brewers are still in it. Estrada still just working his way back into the rhythm since coming back from the disabled list. It's one thing Renicky said about Marco. He doesn't even on days when he struggles a little bit like today, he doesn't have his A game, he still is able to, for the most part, keep his club in a game when he's healthy.
He's been able to minimize the big innings. I mean, that's the thing that hurt him last year. I think the experience of last year has helped him in that regard. But Marco is the kind of a guy that's been suspect to giving up the home run ball. Easy for me to say.
Schaefer fouls it away. Now he's a fly ball pitcher. This is not the best ballpark for Estrada. Miller Park.
17 home runs allowed in 15 starts.
But as long as you keep those to solo shots, that's the goal. Try to eliminate the base runners. That's why Jay's home run was particularly unnerving for him, I'm sure, because he had given up a hit to Molina on a 2-strike pitch prior to that. Time was called. Time was asked for and given by home plate umpire Tim McClellan.
He was
Schaefer.
Logan Schaefer, because there's a lot of going on behind him and at second base. Cosma and Chris Davis going back and forth at second base. Cosma trying to keep him close. Distracting up there at the plate.
Schaefer's hanging tough, getting some much better swings this time around against Shelby Miller. And that pitch count continues to rise. It is now at 100. You know, this could be the inning that the Brewers could chase the starter. You get a base hit here, I'm sure Matheny would think about going into his bullpen. He does have activity out there. He's had 3 long innings, Shelby Miller. Full count. And he lost him. So Schaefer, good at bat, draws the walk. Miller may be showing some signs of fatigue. And now Sean Halton will be announced as the pinch hitter. And we'll see if Matheny counters. It looks like he's on his way out. Cardinals have Seth Manis. And the move has been made. So Matheny will make the call to the bullpen. Miller is out. And we'll take a timeout. Brewers down a pair. Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. And Miller time is over for the Cardinals. Shelby Miller heads to the bench. And Mike Matheny going to his bullpen. Seth Manis is on to work. Miller goes 5 1/3. 2 earned runs at this point, but Rock 2 on there. Still his responsibility for Manis.
Young man, 48th appearance this year. He's been very good out of the bullpen. A 5-1 record and a .212 earned run average. You know, a sinker type pitcher, only 25 strikeouts and just shy of 47 innings of work.
Sean Halton will get a shot here to do some damage. Marco Estrada still has a chance to win this game if the Brewers can take the lead in this inning and then hang on. But he exits as in the loser spot right now, with Miller with a chance to win.
And one of the reasons why you bring this young man in is because when he comes in the middle of a mess, he's only allowed 6 of 41 inherited base runners to score this year. That's an incredible percentage. And he gets those ground balls, gets the double plays. Remember, the Cardinals as a defense lead the National League in turning double plays, and Maddux is a guy that will get you a ground ball.
Pitched 2 days ago against the Cubs and had a scoreless inning. And he deals one outside for a ball. Sean Halton in a 2-2 count. Close pitch. Cardinal bullpen has been outstanding lately. And Halton rips one center field. Jay is back and he's got it for the out. Oh, Sean Halton hit that like a rope to center field, but Jay was there. The second out of the inning. Tough break for Halton. Still 2 on with the top of the order coming up.
Yeah, Jay playing deep out there in center field, and normally he doesn't play very deep. Plays relatively shallow in center field, but for the big, strong right-handed hitter, he's a little bit deeper and able to make that one easy.
So here is Aoki, who homered in the 5th. Aoki came up against Miller to lead off the 5th inning in a 2-1 game and tied it up with that swing. The second hit of the game against Shelby Miller. And is ahead in the count, 2-0.
He's been ahead in the count all night. 2-0 base hit, 1-0 home run.
Taking all the way. Manus deals strike 1. Aoki's home run. One of the big moments in the game. Our game summary brought to you by Toyota as we play here in the bottom of the 6th. Beltran had a homer in the 1st. John Jay's 2-run homer has given the Cardinals the lead again in the top of this inning. Bouncing ball. Carpenter makes the play, spins and throws. Aoki out. Wow. That was a big play. Matt Carpenter now playing third base, his natural position, and retires the side.
As we head to the top of the 7th, Shelby Miller's night is done after 5 1/3. He gave up just 2 runs and 8 strikeouts on the Brewers. He's one of the rookie pitchers making a big impact on the scene in baseball. Our results of our AT&T Twitter poll: 33% most impressed by Miller, another 33% also impressed by Jose Fernandez of the Marlins. And BA, you touched on this earlier. Shelby Miller was one of the young arms the Cardinals were impressed with. That's why they didn't re-sign Kyle Loesch, and he'll face his former team tomorrow.
Kyle Loesch is up tomorrow against Lance Lynn in Game 2 of this series. Some of the top young pitchers in the National League. Rob Wooten, rookie right-hander at 27 years of age. He's got a big week coming up. He's going to be leaving the ball club soon. I think it's going to be on Wednesday is what they're planning for the birth of his first child. Wooten will be heading back to North Carolina, so he pitches tonight, trying to keep the Cardinals at 4 runs as we go to the 7th inning.
Yeah, he gave up his first run of the year on Friday against the Cincinnati Reds. Gave up a couple of hits, a run, and ended his consecutive scoreless inning streak at 11 innings. So he had off to a good start to his big league career.
The second longest consecutive scoreless inning streak in franchise history. Mike Adams has the record, which was at 13. Wooten with that split finger fastball to go along with his regular fastball and curve. AAA closer turn, major league middle reliever, facing Matt Carpenter at the top of this Cardinals order in the 7th. The 0-2. Carpenter hangs in there. By the way, we just saw that graphic Sophia showed us with all those talented young pitchers, and Jose Fernandez was on the mound tonight against you, and he beat him. The Marlins beat the Dodgers tonight. Fernandez now 9-5. Ryu goes to 12-4. Giancarlo Stanton homered in that game. Carpenter flies to center field for Schaefer for the first out. Suddenly the Dodgers are slumping, Rock. Don Mattingly in trouble again after they've lost 2 in a row. Not hardly.
Yeah.
Dodgers are sitting on a 7.5 game lead in the National League West. The team that is chasing them, the Diamondbacks, lost to the Reds today 5-3, so they couldn't make up any ground.
And Dodgers 20 games over 500. Amazing.
They've lost just 4 times since the All-Star break. Pirates are the division leaders in the Central. They are out west, and they're just underway in San Diego. Pirates have a 1-game lead over the Cardinals, a 2-game lead over Cincinnati currently. Beltran skies one a mile high, and Francisco in foul territory makes a catch for out number 2.
Atlanta Braves with the best record in baseball, 76-48.
At one point they had won 14 straight games. They are off tonight. $15.5 games ahead of the Nationals.
44-18 at home this year. Brewers are going to be in Atlanta last week of the season. I would imagine the Braves will have the East wrapped up by then. Might have it wrapped up by September 1st.
Yeah, at the rate they're going. Yeah, they've already got a magic number working that is in the 20s right now. The Cubs are rolling over the Nationals tonight, 11-1. Nationals in danger of dropping to 16 back, while the Braves are idle tonight. Look at Jesse down there, our camera operator. He never flinched.
Risking life and limb.
Thank goodness for the net, right? Jesse's had so many golf balls flying at him over his career that he's not even worried about it. He's as good of a caddy as he is a camera operator. Actually, he's a better camera operator. The talented Jesse Levy. He gives us some great looks. Running out onto the field for Lucroy's walk-off home run, and this great look from behind home plate.
Our instructional cameraman after the games.
Matt Holliday turns that one around quickly. Schaefer will cut it off. Holliday thinking about two, and he's on his way. The throw comes in, and Holliday is safe. Hustle double by Matt Holliday. Surprisingly fast for a big man.
Well, he hit it where the Brewers did not think he was going to hit it. Into the gap out in left center. They had Schaefer shaded over toward right. They had Davis straight away. Big gap out there. And by the time Schaefer got there, Holliday into second base.
Bang, bang, but safe is the call, and Holliday is in there. With Alan Craig coming up, this is the last guy you want to face with a runner in scoring position. It's ridiculous numbers this year with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, first time tonight, but a .457 hitter with runners in scoring position this year.
That is the best mark in the major leagues, and I should hope so.
By far. And there might be a guy out there that might be 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position, but you know, for a full season, that's incredible.
Freddie Freeman of the Braves, .440, and then it falls off to Matt Carpenter. Bouncing ball to third. Ramirez, a long throw. And no problem. So Wooten, a scoreless inning in his first outing against the St. Louis Cardinals. Segura, Lucroy, and Ramirez with the Brewers down a pair. St. Louis twice this year. They're 2-8 against him this season, so hoping for a comeback tonight. Shane Robinson will take over in left field. Holliday is out as Matheny strengthens his defense, and Michael Wacha, one of the talented young arms up from the Cardinals minor league system, is on the mound.
The only 7th appearance for Wacha. You know, one of the Guys that you hear a lot about over the last couple of years, but here he is in the big leagues, a 386 earned run average. One of 5 rookies coming out of that Cardinals bullpen these days. He's given up 3 home runs in 25 2/3 innings.
Gene Segura leads off. He's made an impact with his glove tonight. Check out this play in our Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery. A spinning throw to first to retire Colton Wong. Or rather, Pete Cosma, I beg your pardon. Back in the 4th. Segura's had a couple of nice plays defensively tonight.
And his best play was a play that ended up as a base hit.
Michael Wacha. And Segura drops a bunt down. Going to be a tough play here. Don't even bother as Wacha throws it away. And now Segura on his way to second. The throw comes in late. Man, can this guy fly. A terrible decision by Wacha. But Segura, one of the few players that can actually take advantage.
Segura was just busting it down the line and through the bag, and he was on the outfield grass when he finally decided he better take off to second base, running through the base and well into right field, and a good job backing up by Wong. Almost got him at second base. Look at that angle to second from right field.
Segura, he found a new gear. When it looked like that play was going to be close, Wong did a great job to back up, and he realized that a little late and found the gear that not many players have. And he adds to his infield hits total, which leads all of baseball, as a matter of fact, not just the National League. So there's a start, and now a runner at second for Jonathan Lucroy.
And the only guy that really had a shot at that would be Molina, but he didn't get out of the box very well. A little bit slow getting out of there. And Wacha made a poor decision to throw to first.
See Lucroy at the plate tonight, presented by Wendy's. 2 hits, both came with 2 strikes. The second one drove in a run. Brewers had 2 on last inning. They could not score. Trailing by 2 here in the 7th. And Lucroy takes a strike. Michael Wacha, 6'6", 210. He's from Texas, from Texarkana. Played his college ball at Texas A&M. And I'm sure he's up to his ears in Johnny Manziel talk at this point. Lucroy, a little jam shot, falling fast. That's down, and Segura run it all the way, and he'll score without a throw. Lucroy with his 3rd hit. Drives in a run, and the Brewers are within a run.
Yeah, one of the problems when you play deep in center field, a ball like that's going to drop. Segura with such good instincts out there in the bases. We've seen him do that a number of times this year on a ball that you're not sure about. He sees it extremely well. Kind of reads it right there. Says, yep, it's going to fall. And Ed Cedar, no problem sending him. Cuts that bag nicely and scores. That is a Gene Segura run right there for Milwaukee.
Now, scoring runs is the name of the game, and it is a skill. Some guys are much better at it than others, and Lucroy benefited from that. Segura ends up at second with his great wheels on the throwing error and scoring on the flare. So the Brewers are down a run. 2 hits to start this 7th inning. Nobody out for Ramirez.
And now the big fly.
First appearance for Ramirez against Wacha. We haven't seen this hurler yet. He is among the first few to make it to the big leagues out of the 2012 draft. He was a first rounder last year, 19th pick overall. Mike Zunino, Kevin Gausman, and Michael Wacha, the first three to make it to the big leagues out of that class.
And pretty much straight over the top. He's got a little bit of sink to his fastball when he throws it on the arm side. And last one looked like he had a little bit of a cut, which is normal for most guys that they'll throw over the top. 96 with movement. Not bad.
With a changeup, and the 2-1 is high. 3 balls and a strike. Cardinals probably hoping Wacha could spend a full season in the minor leagues, but because of their injury situation at the big league level, we showed you all the pitchers they've used, all the starters. Wacha's been part of that as well. Pressed into duty. And Aramis sends one deep to left. Way back. It is up, and it is gone. Aramis Ramirez puts the Brewers on top. Ramirez with home run number 6. And his first since coming back from the disabled list. It's a 2-run shot, and the Brewers have a 5-4 lead.
The only question was it going to be high enough, and just did sneak it over that left field wall. 3 spot to 7th, and the Brewers take a lead. Well, these guys are battling every single day.
Now Francisco will take a strike. Take another look.
There's the fastball. It's right over the top, pretty straight down the middle, and Ramirez centers on it nicely and lines it out of here. And I think he knew it.
Just for a minute, then he decided to run, and then he really knew it when it went out. It's been a while since he's hit one. June 26th. Last time he homered prior to going on to the DL. Homered against the Cubs and Scott Feldman. And he is now 2 home runs shy of 350 in his career. As Juan Francisco is down for the 4th time. 4 Ks. The first out of the inning. Back to the Ramirez swing.
Yep, right down the middle of the plate, and he hammers it out there, and off the back wall. And had to feel good for Aramis. He's been centering on some baseballs pretty well, getting under him, but not that time.
Aramis Ramirez is 7th on the all-time major league list for home runs by a third baseman, by the way. Just ahead of him is Adrian Beltre of the Rangers. Ramirez has 348 career homers. As a third baseman, though, 345. Climbing the list. None bigger than that one this season for Ramirez. And you called it, partner.
I was just hoping. That wasn't a call. That was a hope.
I thought that was excellent analysis.
Seemed like he was due, didn't you? Didn't you get the sense that he was very close to getting a hold of one?
It's what we call first guessing.
Well, now the Brewers set up exactly where they want to be in their bullpen with a lead in the 8th. Kinsler and Henderson.
Chris Davis takes one low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brewers taking the lead for the first time tonight. They've been able to tie it twice after falling behind. First 2 times they tied the game, the Cardinals immediately came back and took the lead. Tied it in the 3rd. Cardinals went ahead in the 4th. Tied it in the 5th. Cardinals got a 2-run homer by Jay in the 6th to take the lead. And now Ramirez puts them on top. See how that changes things for Renicky in the bullpen. The go-ahead home run. Brewers are pretty well set up in their pen as Davis bounces out for out number 2. As we check in with Mark.
BA famed car customizer Ryan Friedlinghouse and his crew at West Coast Customs continue to take common vehicles from ordinary to extraordinary. In West Coast Customs, every episode bringing viewers inside one of the most dynamic car shops in the world. Don't miss a new episode. It's this Sunday. Ryan, guys, opened West Coast Customs when he was 18. He saved up $5,000 that he got when he worked at his dad's liquor store, and the rest is history.
Nice. Going next level with the West Coast Customs, Mark. Well done. Little tidbit. Scooter Jeanette fouls it away. You guys are on your game tonight. You're first guessing. Mark's advancing promos.
That's right. You have to be. I mean, these are the dog days. You really have to push yourself around this time of year, right? Not just the dog days for the players.
Scooter Jeanette goes back up the middle, base hit. How about that swing?
Picked it right off the ground, didn't he?
That's one that falls under the batsmanship adjective there. Looked like a page out of Nori Aoki's book.
And that was what was so crazy about that 6th inning bunt. I think it was a bunt for a base hit. He was able to advance Davis to second base. Brewers didn't score, but as hot as he's been at the plate, let him swing. Scooter 15 for his last 32. That's hot. Almost 470.
Picked that one right off the ground. His second hit tonight. He's 2 for 3. And here is Schaefer. Sends one deep to right. Down the line. Fair or foul? That is a foul ball.
Not too bad. Well, just at the end.
Close call. He's hit 2 homers this year. Made a strong case for a 3rd, but just got out ahead of it by this much.
And right at the end, it looked like it was going to hit that foul pole, but a little bit too much hook.
Well, that would have been a game changer. Schaefer is 0 for 2 with a walk. And a good at bat against Shelby Miller in the 6th inning. Long at bat to finally draw the walk. And that was Miller's last hitter. Manus came in to get out of the 6th inning. Waka started the 7th. The Brewers have put 3 runs on the board on 4 hits. Schaefer pulls one over to Colton Wong for the out, and the inning is over. But the Brewers get a quick 3 with one swing of the bat. Aramis Ramirez goes deep. And Milwaukee on top, 5-4 going to the 8th.
against Michael Waka. Hey, for most weekday afternoon games, kids 14 and under and seniors 60 and over can save up to 50% on tickets. For details, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com.
A crowd of nearly 33,000 tonight on a Monday night. Defensive changes. Renicky will tighten up defensively with Betancourt at first base. Brewers get 3 runs in the 7th. Lucroy an RBI single and then a 2-run homer by Ramirez as Brandon Kinsler, who has emerged as the Brewers setup man, will take over the 8th.
And not too many throwing the baseball any better than Kinsler right now. Stranded 1 batter and pitched an inning and 2/3 scoreless on Saturday against Cincinnati. A couple of hits, struck out a batter. Has not allowed a run in his last 17 appearances.
He'll face Molina to start it, who has 3 hits tonight. How about the catchers in this game tonight? Jonathan Lucroy is 3 for 3 with a walk and 2 RBIs. Molina is 3 for 3 with an RBI double. Ball and 2 strikes.
Kinsler with a good sinker, that fastball that bores in on the hands of right-handed batters. That one at 93 miles an hour. He can get it up there at about 95. Has been routinely working ahead of hitters. That's why he's been so good.
And a 1-2 to Molina. Little tapper foul. Molina is climbing the National League leaderboard. Remember, I mentioned the Braves are off tonight. The league leader in hitting is Atlanta's third baseman Chris Johnson. He's hitting .335. Molina is second in the league in batting. And with his 3 hits tonight, he's at .333. 1-2. And it goes to 2-2. St. Louis has 3 hitters in the top 8 in the league in batting. Molina, Carpenter, and Craig.
And it's a team in general that is very difficult to strike out. Cardinals tonight have struck out 4 times. And 2 of those from the pitcher. Make pretty good contact.
That fastball is eating up Molina, but he is able to foul him off and hang tough. Count remains at 2-2. Kinsler has such good bite on his sinker. More than most.
And he's got the velocity to back it up.
Lucroy wants it away this time. Sets up out there, and Molina into left center. That's going to get down, a base hit. Boy, that is some kind of at bat. His 4th hit of the night. Brewers might have lost a little patience there with Molina. So he's 4 for 4, and Cardinals have the tying run aboard.
Well, Lucroy wanted it away, and Kinsler missed his spot, left it up and in, and Molina able to fight it off into left field.
That'll bring up John Jay, who hit a 2-run homer in the 6th. His last time up, that gave the Cardinals the lead. A strike from Kinsler. Kinsler gets a lot of ground balls, which come in handy in spots like this. Brewers was certainly looking to turn 2 if Jay hits one on the ground, and he's hit one on the ground twice tonight. Remember, the Cardinals removed Matt Holliday from the game. Matheny taking him out to improve his defense with a lead. That lead is gone. It's a big bat the Brewers don't have to deal with.
Yeah.
That could come back to get him.
Yeah, the big problem with trying to shore up your defense with just a 2-run lead. Maybe second guessing that decision right now is Mike Matheny.
John Jay in a 2-1 count. 2-2. Kinsler and Jim Henderson, not as good of a 1-2 combo that you have going in the big leagues right now, but nobody knows about it. Those who aren't following the Brewers. Not exactly household names, but they have been lights out.
Yes, they have. For a good long stretch.
Here's a 2-2 and a foul back into the net. Kinsler is not allowed to run in 17 games. That's 20 in a third innings. 23 out of 24 scoreless. You take that even further. 35 of his last 39 scoreless. Got an ERA at 1.42 during that stretch. Bouncing ball, foul.
All that good work that he's done, and the only thing he's concerned about is this inning. Get the ground ball. The Cardinals have hit into more double plays than any team in the National League, 120. A good time for one right now.
Well, he earned his spot in this role by coming into jams with runners on base and getting out of it. There's a bouncing ball. Betancourt cuts it off. Throw to second. Segura's return to Kinsler. He's there. And a double play. Beautifully turned double play. And tip your hat to Kinsler, who was hustling over to first.
Well, he gets there quickly, and Gene Segura has to have confidence in the pitcher being there because he has to throw it before Kinsler is actually standing on the bag. As soon as this baseball is hit, watch Kinsler. He's going to bust it over to first base. He's the only guy that has a play, and he's able to make it. And the Brewers made that one look easy. That's the toughest of all double plays right there. 3-6 to 1.
Well, very well done. And 2 outs. Colton Wong now. Yeah, that all started with Kinsler right away. He knew it. He was on his horse to the bag. Ron Renicky making the defensive change with Betancourt for Francisco, and it pays off.
Well, as soon as that ball's hit to the left side, pitcher has to know he's got to get there quickly, and Kinsler gets to the bag and is able to position himself as a first baseman. You don't just jog over there and try and get the baseball in the bag at the same time.
Big chopper. Ramirez has it. Got to hurry this throw. It skips and not in time. Wong beats it out. Well, he can run. That's his second infield hit and his first 2 hits of his big league career.
Well, you know he's going to try and steal a base. That's the last guy on this team you want at first base. The only guy that really will worry you about a stolen base. Ramirez knew he had to be quick with it, and Wong just able to beat it. A good pick by Betancourt over at first base.
I think Ramirez used that short hop on purpose, or that long hop as it was. See if Wong is on the move. Daniel Descalso is pinch hitting. In there for the shortstop Cosma. Brewers lead by a run. 2 hits in the inning. A terrific double play wiped out the first hit. And Descalso was late. 0-1.
If you're Brandon Kinsler, you keep an eye on the runner at first base, but don't spend too much time worrying about him. Concentrate on the hitter. Kinsler's last fastball fairly straight and up in the strike zone. Don't want to make a mistake.
Kinsler now in his 4th year in the big leagues. He's never been better. He has dealt with a lot in his career. Didn't make it to the big leagues until the age of 25. And had to go through the independent leagues to get to Milwaukee. Dealt with some injuries. It was a nerve injury in his pitching arm. And his career was in a lot of jeopardy a couple of seasons ago. He made just 9 appearances 2 years ago and just 14 last year. No balls and a strike. Wong at first. Looks like he wants to run. He stays put, and Descalso takes ball 1. You look at Kinsler's trek to the big leagues, and he started in the Padres system, but Padres let him go, and then he had to come back after an injury to prove he could pitch. So he went through the Northern League, starting in Winnipeg, and eventually St. Paul. That's where the Brewers found him. Signed him in 09.
Well, Lucroy urging him to worry about the hitter more than the base runner.
Two balls and a strike on the pinch hitter Daniel Descalso. Cardinals have out hit the Brewers 11-9, but Milwaukee leading by a run and trying to keep Wong close. Brandon turned 29 earlier this month. The first of the month, actually. Trying to get the Brewers to the dugout with a 1-run lead. Descalso into the opposite field, a base hit. Pinch hit single, and the Cardinals with 2 on now. Just a reminder, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers.
Well, the big boy coming up now, Matt Adams, a left-hander. Will hit for Robinson, who came in last inning for defense.
Yeah, Mike Matheny's going to take a shot at it right here and now, and that's going to bring Rick Kranitz out of the dugout for a scouting report. Adams has been Matheny's most successful pinch hitter and brings a big power bat to the mix.
Well, nobody getting loose in that Brewers bullpen. I think Brandon Kinsler has earned the right at this point to be able to get out of his own mess. Michael Gonzalez has not gotten loose in this game.
So here is Matt Adams. As a pinch hitter this year, he is 10 for 29 and 3 homers off the bench. 2 on, 2 out. Brewers lead by a run. Big spot for Kinsler. And dropped a changeup in there for a strike. A beauty.
And not a bad idea with this guy. Good fastball hitter. You got the big shift on him. Scooter's out in short right field.
Tying run at second in the speedy Wong. Adams is having a hard time finding playing time regularly because of the success of Alan Craig at first base. Adams is a first baseman. Sometimes Craig will play the outfield and he'll get a start. But this is where Matheny likes him best. Off the bench and a big swing and a miss. Power sinker from Kinsler, and it's 1-2.
Hey, you don't want to make a mistake inside, particularly with the breaking pitch. I think Lucroy is going to stick with the sinker. That's a good spot for it down on the way.
One and two. Kinsler deals. Adams stays alive. Well, now you got him thinking out there, Rock. Do you dare try to bust him inside at this point?
I don't know if you bust him inside with a fastball. If you have confidence enough, you might want to try and drop that slider in the dirt. I think your best bet is to see if he's going to be able to go to left field with one. You know, try and bury it down and away, and you take your chances.
He's throwing him a changeup in this at bat, a couple of them actually. Tying run at second. Kinsler deals, and Adams pulls one through for a base hit. And we are all tied at 5. Even with the shift on, Matt Adams delivers. And this Cardinal lineup is relentless, even when they go to their bench. So Wong scores. 3 straight hits with 2 outs, and we're all even at 5 apiece.
Yep, 2 outs and nobody on. An infield hit. Descalso with a pinch hit. And now Matt Adams with another pinch hit. And they tried to get him away, and he's able to get the bat head out and knock it into center field.
And one of those spots where the shift cost the Brewers that time. It works out more than it doesn't, but he hit that right where the second baseman would be standing normally. So here's Carpenter with a base hit. Now the Cardinals have the lead. Man, 4 straight hits with 2 outs, and St. Louis is back on top, 6-5.
Well, even some pitches up in the strike zone. They are away, but leaving them up. 2 outs, nobody on. 4 consecutive singles, and Carpenter able to drive in Wong. I should say Descalso with the Cardinals' 6th run of the night.
And 2 on for Beltran. 2 runs in the 8th for St. Louis. After the Brewers get 3 in the 7th. Snaps Kinsler's scoreless streak at 17 consecutive games. Beltran skies one, left field, foul, and in the seats. Good effort there by Davis. Cardinals have 4 hits, make it 5 hits in the inning, 4 in a row with 2 outs. Boy, how big is that double play looking right now for Kinsler? All singles. There's a shot in and out of the glove of Ramirez, and that's going to go as an infield hit. So the beat goes on. 5 straight hits for St. Louis. And the bases are loaded now with 2 away.
And just one of those days for Brandon Kinsler. He's for the most part been able to keep the ball on the ground, but the Cardinals have made some pretty good contact on him. And that a one-hop bullet that Ramirez is able to knock down, or that might have been another run.
And you want to know how deep the Cardinals are? when they need to go to their bench with the pitcher spot coming up, they have David Freese to call on, who is the third pinch hitter in this inning. They've used Descalso, Adams, and now Freese with the bases loaded, and Ron Renicky will make the change. Big damage with 2 outs. 5 straight hits. Kinsler will leave with the bases loaded.
Retake the lead here in the top of the 8th, and right now on FoxSportsWisconsin.com, the Brewers' starting pitching situation for next year. The latest from Titletown, the Packers get back to practice, and the quarterback race update from the second Badger football scrimmage, all on FoxSportsWisconsin.com. Bert Badenhop on in relief of Brandon Kinsler, trying to shut the door here, guys, and Ron Renicky loves this guy. He says he has a rubber arm. You can pitch him often in just about any situation.
And these are the spots where Badenhop has struggled a little bit this year. He's been great when he has started innings, but has given up a ton of inherited runners so far this year. And he's entering this game with the bases loaded. And the Cardinals with a 1-run lead.
Facing David Freese, 54th appearance for Badenhop, a .346 earned run average. And Badenhop picked up a win on Friday against Cincinnati after tossing a scoreless inning.
It could be the game right here. The Brewers down a run. Freese at the plate, and he swings and launches one to left. That's going to get down and go to the fence. Adams is in. Here comes Carpenter to score. 2 runs in for David Freese, and St. Louis now up 8-5. Boy, what an inning they are putting together offensively.
Yeah, 6 straight hits with 2 outs, I'll say.
It's a double by Freese.
And it's amazing how players can make the manager look good. You pull Matt Holliday, you end up losing the lead, and the guys that replace him do the job. And now, boy, the Brewers down 8-5.
From 2 outs and nobody on, and now the Cardinals with 4 runs in have batted around in this 8th inning. It's been a struggle this year for Freese. He's lost some playing time this season, at least recently.
Not when he's playing the Brewers. Doesn't matter what that guy's doing. He gets into town or the Brewers go to St. Louis, he gets his hitting shoes on for some reason.
Now the best run producer the Cardinals have, Alan Craig, with runners at second and third as Badenhop deals a strike. Little tapper. It's going to be a fair ball. Lucroy will make the play to win the inning. But it was a mess. With 2 outs, the Cardinals string together 6 straight hits, and they lead at 8-5.
Things going on between the Brewers and the Cardinals. First thing for the Brewers, the top of the order, the first 4 with 7 hits, 9 times on base, couple of home runs, 5 RBIs, responsible for all the offense.
Well, that's right. And when you look at those stats like that, partner, you say, whoa, we're losing this ball game. That, boy, when you get that production from the top of the order, you're normally scoring some runs and winning the game.
Now, Cardinals, of course, had their big inning, but the shining moment, the Marshfield Clinic shining moment of the game goes to Aramis Ramirez, hitting his first home run since June 26th, first home run since coming off the disabled list. And that proved big for the Brewers. That happened in the 7th inning, gave them the lead, but they've relinquished it since, so they're going to have to fight back in this one as they trail. Now, don't forget Brewers Live postgame coming up after the ball game. Going to hear from Ron Reineke plus our instructional. Brian?
All right, thanks a lot, Craig. You see some of the changes here. Matt Adams will stay in to play first base. Had the big hit and a pinch hit appearance in the top of this inning. Descalso will play short, and that moves Alan Craig out to left field. And the Cardinals have a new pitcher. That is Kevin Segrist.
Yet another rookie. Segrist putting up some pretty impressive numbers, 33 strikeouts and 24 in the 3rd innings. He's allowed 1 home run and about an opponent batting average of about 100. And they just keep bringing them up, and they continue to be successful.
Cardinals with 8 runs on 16 hits, just scoring 4 on 7 hits in an inning in the 8th. That's exactly the way the Cardinals have been able to beat so many teams this year, just chipping away single after single and plowing through that lineup as Betancourt strikes out for the first out of the inning.
Fastball up in the strike zone, and that's a no-no. High fastballs. Able to get it by Betancourt.
Here's Aoki, and he slaps one to left. Craig just out there, makes the catch for out number 2. Well, I hope you'll join us tomorrow, game 2 of this series. We'll be out there tailgating. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Lance Lynn and Kyle Loesch. Loesch, the former Cardinal, always has something a little extra in mind when St. Louis is the opponent.
Yeah, winless against the Cardinals so far this year in 3 starts.
Lance Lynn has been one of the best winners in the National League. He has won off the National League high with 13 wins. Jordan Zimmerman and Adam Wainwright lead the league in wins with 14. Compares to Max Scherzer in the American League, who has 18 wins. Gene Segura with 2 away. That ball's ripped. Craig is over. He's got it. And the side is retired. Tough break for Segura. Segrist is through the 8th. Well, we're on our way to the 9th inning. Bert Badenhop will start this inning fresh. He gave up a base hit that delivered 2 runs. 2 inherited runners that scored against Badenhop in the 8th. Closed the book on a 4-run inning for St. Louis. All 4 of those runs belonging to Kinsler, who is on the hook for the loss. Michael Wacha stands to be the winner, barring a Brewers comeback. He gave up 3 earned runs in an inning tonight.
Nobody said it was fair. It's all right. Not over yet.
Yeah, Molina will lead off. Brewers down 3. Been a back and forth ball game. Cardinals have had an answer every time, though. And a quick answer. On 3 occasions, the Brewers have either tied it or taken the lead, and the very next half inning after they've done so, St. Louis has regained the lead.
There was 16 hits. You would expect the Cardinals to be ahead by a lot more than 3. But there's been a lot of singles for St. Louis. They have hit a couple of homers.
They've stranded 7. Beltran and John Jay with the home runs tonight. Molina's 4 for 4. Brewers will have the middle of their order in the 9th. Two and 2 on Molina. Now Milwaukee's bullpen has been outstanding, especially when they had the lead late, specifically Kinsler and Henderson. But tonight, Kinsler, even with 2 outs and nobody on, just could not get through the inning as the Cardinals chipped away. Think about how that inning was extended too, with 2 outs and nobody on. Colton Wong reached on an infield hit.
Yeah, Cardinal pinch hitters 3 for 3 in that inning.
Pirates are in San Diego tonight. The division leaders lead 2-0 over the Padres. They have Francisco Liriano on the mound tonight. Game's in the bottom of the 4th. Reds won tonight. They beat the Diamondbacks. Arizona teetering on irrelevance. Badenhop makes the play. He's got time. Man, that was a beautiful play. Bert Badenhop pouncing off the mound. Well done.
Yeah, talking about getting there quickly and getting himself in position to throw. He had the right guy running to first. Molina, one of the slowest runners in the National League. Look at Badenhop reaching out. And if that ball goes off his glove, it's probably a base hit.
Next up for the Cardinals, center fielder John Jay.
And beats that sinker into the ground. And what an athletic play by Bert Badenhop to get him. Right in the webbing, a little snow cone, and gets the out.
So 1 gone for John Jay. Got 4 West Coast games in progress. Red Sox are in San Francisco. Boston has a lead 3-0. Told you about the Pirates. A's up 1-0 on the Mariners in the 5th, and the Indians are in Anaheim. They lead the Angels 4-0. Everything else is final. The division leading Dodgers lost to the Marlins, but the Diamondbacks lost as well, so LA maintains their lead in the National League West as Jay draws a walk. Had a big showdown in the American League East tonight in Baltimore. Tampa Bay beat him 4-3. David Price beat Chris Tillman tonight. Fernando Rodney the save. That's a big win for the Rays. Orioles are hanging on. They're 4.5 back. Could go to 5.5 back tonight. Best division races right now. The American League East. As the bouncer goes to Jeanette, and he'll put the tag on. And the out is called. Jeanette gets the second out. As Colton Wong reaches. Maybe Jeanette has a chance at a double play if he stops the runner, then throws to first, but he took the sure out instead.
Yeah, gets him running back and then throw to first. Eliminating the force out. But he got an out.
Yeah, he's thinking about it, realizing that once he stopped Jay, had a chance to get an out at first, and then you'd get Jay in a rundown. Brewers will have Lucroy, Ramirez, and a pinch hitter due up in the bottom of the 9th. Descalso had a big hit last inning. Pinch hit single to left. There goes Wong. Lucroy's throw short, hops in. And another stolen base. Colton Wong putting together his best game in the big leagues. Second steal, has 2 hits.
They got that inning going. You know, that 8th inning with that infield hit. If it hadn't been for his speed, it would have been a fairly quick, uneventful inning for the Cardinals, but it turned out to be much more. Can't teach that. You either run or you can't. Cardinals don't have many that can run, but they had the right guy up then.
Yeah, it gives them a different look. There's a strike. 2-2 now. Baden hop and a full count. And we'll do it again. Cardinals with 8 runs on 16 hits. 7 of those coming last inning. Brewers have 5 runs on 9 hits. Jonathan Lucroy has 3 of them. Ramos Ramirez hit a big homer earlier, giving the Brewers the lead in the 7th. And those two will lead off next inning. Bouncing ball, Scooter Gennett for the final out of the top of the 9th. Last call for the Crew. They're down 3. Middle of the order coming up. As we head to the bottom of the 9th inning, St. Louis has their closer back. Mike Matheny announced yesterday, even though a save situation didn't present itself, he announced that Edward Mujica has been shut down the last 3 days, citing fatigue as the reason why. So he is back after a little hiatus. It didn't really come into play for the Cardinals because they won 2 out of 3 and no save situations came up. So Mujica gets his break and now he's back, and they're hoping they can get a big finishing kick out of him.
They have 3 in the depth chart in the closer spot, and look what Mujica has done. 31 out of 33. Mott on the disabled list. He was lost for the season basically before the year started. Mitchell Boggs was the closer. He got sent down, then traded. And Mujica has been doing a pretty good job.
He's never been in this kind of role in his career. He's always been a good reliever, good setup reliever. There's Lucroy on the first pitch, pops it up, foul territory. 1 gone, 1 pitch. Well, if the Brewers don't come back, this is going to be one that got away from them.
Yeah,
they felt good about it. They had a lead. Ramirez homered to put them on top, and then you look at that 8th, 2 outs, nobody on for the Cardinals, and they just put the roll together. 6 straight hits, scoring 4 runs and taking a 3-run lead.
Yeah. And doing something that he hasn't done in a long time. Brandon Kinsler giving up runs. I think the fact that when Wong got on base, he was very concerned about him stealing a base, spending a lot of time worrying about the base runner.
Ramirez to right for out number 2.
And continued to worry about him when Wong was at second base. When Adams was at the plate, diverting his attention away from the hitter a little bit.
So Mojica on 3 pitches has 2 outs. And here is Jeff Bianchi pinch hitting. Brewers go over the 2 million mark tonight in attendance for the season with a crowd of nearly 33,000. Credit to these great fans here. And 2 more games left on this homestand, tomorrow and Wednesday. Brewers will be back at the end of the month for a series with the Angels. Oh, 2. Mojica making it look easy right now. And his 6th pitch outside for a ball. Next homestand will be the 30th of August through the 4th of September. Angels Pirates. After this one wraps up Wednesday. And believe it or not, Rock, that is the penultimate homestand of the season.
Something else, isn't it?
The last homestand of the year will be the 13th of September through the 22nd of September.
Yeah, Brewers finish on the East Coast. Atlanta, New York. Final week of the season.
So we're looking at 18 home games remaining after tonight. That's hard to believe. Brewers have 3 road trips and 2 homestands remaining. Hoping to be a factor among the contenders as Bianchi, a bouncing ball that'll get through. Keeps the inning alive with 2 outs. A 2-strike, 2-out single by Bianchi.
Able to wait back on an off-speed pitch and get enough of it to sneak it into center field. The Fosh or the changeup, whatever you want to call it, down on the trademark. Split-fingered fastball, and Bianchi able to knock it into center field.
Brewers need one more base runner here to get Scooter Gennett to the plate. Chris Davis is 0 for 3 tonight. He's been hit by a pitch. And Davis rips one into the gap in left center. That's going to get down and go to the wall. And it bounces up and out. That'll be a ground rule double. And the Brewers will bring that tying run to the plate as Davis, with his first hit, rips one into the gap in left center.
Yep, the young kids making some noise. Bianchi, Davis, both rookies. And now the Brewers have the tying run at home plate. Here comes Mike Matheny. Nobody up in the bullpen. I would imagine just an opportunity to calm down his clothes. I don't know why he would need to do it. Ball up and over the wall. Saved the run for the time being, but I don't think the Brewers too much concerned about that at this point.
Bianchi with a 2-out, 2-strike single. Davis doubles, and now Scooter Gennett. Not what you'd call a home run hitter, but he's got some pop in his bat. He had 3 home runs on the last road trip. 2 came in the same game against the Rangers. And one of them was up in the upper deck in right field in Arlington. Base hit should score 2. Jeanette the tying run. Jeanette is 2 out of 3 tonight. And a big cut. Like the splitter from Mujica.
Breaking ball and going down and in on Jeanette.
No balls and a strike. And Jeanette out in front of that one. That's the equalizer for Mujica. And it's always been great split finger fastball. It just drops out of the strike zone. So the Brewers down to their last strike again. Jeanette has a pair of singles tonight. The 0-2, and Jeanette just stays alive. Same pitch.
3 in a row.
Cardinals sitting a game back in the Central, trailing the Pirates. Brewers trying to rally in the 9th. The 0-2 pitch. Jeanette fights off another one. Mujica never had more than 2 saves in a single season until this year. He's got 31 this season. Another 0-2. Jeanette pulls it foul.
He's starting to zero in on that splitter. And Mujica continues to be able to keep it down in the zone.
Well, it's his bread and butter pitch. It's his strikeout pitch. Does he dare come off it here? We'll do it again. Another 0-2. And Jeanette, a little roller. First base. Adams is there to the bag to end the ball game. So the Cardinals win. They get 4 in the 8th. A comeback victory for St. Louis tonight. Mujica with his 32nd save makes a winner out of Michael Wacha. Kinsler took the loss. 8-5 the final. The Cardinals win the openers of this 3-game series, and we check in with Craig Kashawn. It's time for Brewers Live.
All right, Brian, thanks very much. A lot going on in this game. Too bad it went on so late for Milwaukee, but we'll break down that 8th inning, find out what happened to Brandon Kinsler. We'll hear from Ron Renick. Our instructional is on the way as well, so plenty to talk about. Brewers Live postgame is next.